Hello and welcome to Totally Tell Me, entertainment review podcast where we talk about movies, music, food, and fun. Oh, yeah, Laura filled in the blanks there. It wasn't quite a blank. I was actually going to say it, but it's fine. I mean, you know.
I wanted to match you on that.
My name's Dominic Mercurio, and I'm here with Laura Weinbach.
Oh,
What's up?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we haven't done this in a bit, so you know, we still got to figure out our pacing. You know, like what I say, what she says, and vice versa, and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I feel like probably some of you are here for the very first time, and some of you maybe have seen the show before, but figured we'd do a little quick recap of what the hell this is. Totally Tell Me. We live stream episodes bi-weekly every other Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We go live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And then later, the Wednesday following any live episode, we post the episode to podcasts, all the podcast services. And of course, right now we are live. So if you want to be a part of the show, feel free to comment. We see your comments. Your comments are up in the screen here too. And our intro music, of course, was by a little known band called Foxtails Brigade, Steak and Cookies, latest affair that we just released, or the video was just released.
True.
Got any comment on that, Laura?
That would be my comment. It was just released.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Me and Laura are both in the band, so you know it's we kind of got it a little
works.
bit. Yeah, kind of. We just figured like, what should we play? Us maybe.
Something obviously good.
Right. Yeah. Like we're gonna need something
undeniable, something that
it's like
that
maybe
works.
Yeah, maybe like something that we're in. I mean, something that we made. Something.
It doesn't even matter. It's just something that is obviously going to be better than most other things.
Right.
Pretty sure.
Should we like reintroduce ourselves a little bit here? I feel like
okay.
You know,
who are you?
Who am I?
Explain yourself.
I'm the drummer of that band that you just watched.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also a filmmaker. I obviously love to talk movies, so I feel like that's kind of how we like started the podcast. I was like many years ago at this point. Probably like what 2017 is when we started it. Something around there.
Was it? I think. Wow. Okay.
2018 maybe. 2017?
No, that sounds about right. It's just when I think about the course of events that took place in 2017, a lot happened that year. And yet it seemed as though Totally Tell Me had already been happening. But alas, I think it was not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, we started it. We love to watch movies. We started it like used to just be it used to be movies and music. I feel like basically now we just review movies, but
we also would talk about food and fun.
Right, food and fun as well.
Such as the tagline suggests.
Right. But
I think in our first episode we did discuss the merits of Pocky and the many flavors within which exist under the umbrella of the name.
We definitely did.
Pocky.
Yeah. Pocky has been a brand that has been with us since day one, really. Yeah, since the beginning. But yeah, and Laura, who are you?
I'm Laura Weinbach, sister, friend, wife, mother, actress, model, goddess, pretty sure. And I provide entertaining discourse and just overall engaging company to those who are so lucky and graced to be within my presence.
That's beautiful.
It comes down to.
I am crying actually right now.
Are you?
At this very moment, yeah.
Wow.
You just can't see
dropped
it.
your eye.
Yeah. So look, we've been out of the game for a little bit here. I looked up, and our last episode was June 27th, 2021, which is truly 2.5 years ago, which is you know, a little crazy to think about, I would say. I actually found a clip from our last episode in which we addressed how long we would be away. So I figured I'd just play that for us real quick. I think, Laura, for me and you, we might not hear it, but I'm going to play it for the audience, and I'll see if I can also play it for us at the same time. So here we go. I guess here's what I should say. This is going to be our final episode for some time.
I mean, some time. We don't know exactly how much time.
We don't know how much time we have left on this planet ever. I think there's
that.
always a bit of uncertainty But I think what we can say for certain is we will not be doing episodes for some time. I mean, I think that's quite simply all that we can commit to. Is that not correct?
I think 1.5 to 2 months.
We're watching it.
I think 1.5 to 2 months.
1.5 to 2 months.
More like 2.5 to 3 years. Interesting. That's so wow. My camera looked so much crappier than yours currently does. It seems. But
oh wow. Well,
I think that was being broadcast from my camera, right?
It was. Yeah,
On
that was at your house. We're currently at my house right now. Not to like dox me or anything.
Yeah. Look at his pad.
Right. Yeah.
It's all kind of like gamer-esque, isn't it?
I was trying to do
blue.
like what should our Twitch live stream setup look like, and so here we are. We got our little
This has a definitive Twitch auric field.
Right, but here we are 2.5 years later. So this episode today, we are going to count down our top 10 favorite films of 2023, even though we did miss 2022 and half of 2021, but we're just going to focus on 2023 for this episode. Me and Laura are both going to go back and forth, count them down. Hopefully you get some suggestions and et cetera, but I figured just like to start us off, we should just like chit chat just like we used to. And I was also thinking, I feel like we should have a candle too as well. I was asking.
Did you want to ask me if I want a candle?
I mean, I did want to ask you. Should we have a candle?
Should I try and see what candle we should use?
Right. Yeah. So like, I do have an array of candles in my household.
He has candles. He has a collection of menswear candles. So
well, they're not all menswear.
It feels as though they're a bit on the in the men's playing field.
Like, you mean from the look of it? The look of
the sort of. I'm just experiencing a kind of auric sensation emanating from the collection.
I'm going to say you're going to be surprised then if you think all of these are like a male testosterone
I don't
scent.
know if they're specifically of the male persuasion, but I was just sort of guesstimating, as they say.
Well, yeah, but see,
as
I think
to the nature within which they currently reside.
I do think you're judging a book by its cover a little bit here, though, and I do feel like there's going to be some scents that are for you in here.
What? Oh, so you're saying that the cover of these books is that of the male persuasion?
I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at these and you're thinking,
so you're saying brown is male.
Well, like, you said that.
Do you think that's a bit obtuse to say?
I would have to
tale?
defer to you, considering that you did bring that to us here.
Let me get the audience in on this for a second.
Right.
So he has a sort of a mountainous collection of these sort of brown robed candles.
I like them. What can I say?
Candles encased within a sort of a brown robing of sorts. I think this is a very sort of unisex approach to the aesthetic nature, but Dominic here seems to think.
Look, roll the tape back.
I said nothing about their appearance visually. I was just simply experiencing an essence.
Right.
I
But
don't know
you're
why.
anticipating that the smells here will be of the masculine variety, is what you're saying.
Well, I suppose I anticipate such things because, well, I might have good reason.
Well, look, I think that you have good reason to not know all the scents that you're about to experience.
Truly don't know. So I think that we should probably engage in a test of sorts.
All right, yeah. Okay, let's
people,
do that.
we're going to do a smell test. And, well, I don't know if we're just going to experience the smells of these candles and decide on which candle to light, okay? All right, so let's see. The first one here is called Golden Coast Soy Candle.
Star Amoroso, what's up?
That's fucked up.
Oh, yeah, wait. So this one's Golden Coast, right?
Golden Coast is good. That is men's.
Menswear?
Well,
wait, hold on.
It feels a bit makeup counter-esque. I don't know. I guess it could be either.
Oh, God. Come on. That's like one of my favorites.
Okay, to be quite frank, this has a little bit of a Hugo Boss feel. I don't know what that means exactly, but it does sort of call to mind that reverberation.
I will give to you that is a masculine scent. Okay? That is what we're 1 for 1 for masculine scents, but I will say I have some feminine scents up in here.
Do you feel that this could be a scent one might inhale upon the opening of a man's boxer short?
I'm
and wafting the scent that layeth within.
I mean, did you say Men's Warehouse, or am I just thinking Men's
I didn't
Warehouse?
say Men's Warehouse. Okay. I said sort of a Hugo Boss appeal.
Oh, okay. Because I think like a Men's Warehouse. I could be a Men's Warehouse. I mean, you do. It's true, but I also think that this does waft. It's a good like living room candle. It wafts. It wafts nicely.
I see. The word waft, I feel, is appropriate here.
Okay.
I think that if you were to take a male who might be wearing sort of like a polo sport or a Hugo Boss polo shirt or maybe even like a FUBU pant, if you were to take that that sweatpant, and stretch the waistline of it outward and stick your head into sort of what's inside the pant, you might waft this scent into your nostrils.
So I'm thinking this is a
and
no-go
into
for
the
you,
general.
right?
I'd say have to say no on that because I sense
No-go.
there's going to be better smells involved in this collection. So
And
let's
that's
jump
and just
into
so we
more.
know, that's the number 21 Golden Coast.
Yeah. So
soy
maybe
candle.
stay away from that. Just or
Personally, I
if
love
you
it.
like that look, go ahead. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into Black Fig.
Oh, you're not gonna like this one.
So
I mean, I could just tell you right now, skip. It's a
Look,
skip.
you know
for
what? You don't know me. Let me try it.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Oh shit! I don't dislike it. I don't.
No
love
way.
It.
You're
You know what it feels like? It feels like a sort of a Rudy.
Giuliani.
No, not Rudy.
Oh,
Root-y.
a rooty.
It feels like what I imagine black root would smell like. That is a substance that's mentioned in the movie Willow. For those of you who might be privy to the reference. I know you're not, but it's okay. Sorry.
I would never be.
Oh my God. It feels like what I imagine sort of the roots of sort of like a vanilla bean might smell like. It's not vanilla scented in any way. It just feels like I imagine black roots sort of lacing and braiding themselves into a ground and then finding their way around the big toe of a male wearing a FUBU short. I don't know.
Honestly, I thought you would
Just
hate
saying.
it. So what you're saying right now is
I don't love it.
Okay. All right, so that's
What
a
do you
no.
think?
Look, I love them all. This is why I picked them
Really?
out.
You love them all?
I mean,
Wow.
why would I have brought this home
I thought
to my
maybe
very
it was a
household?
gift. I thought it might have been a gift from.
Actually, yeah,
I
a
don't
couple of these
know.
are gifts, I will
I
say.
figured as much.
But this is not a gift. I bought it with my own.
With your own bare hands.
Yeah, with my blood.
So that one, I'd say.
Black fig.
I'd say, stay away if
It's
you
a no.
don't want
It's a
to
no.
have a sort of root braid smell. Okay, I'm gonna jump into this Guerneville by the Redwoods candle. This is the one that initially caught my eye, and the one in which we
This was
initially conversed on the possibility of even lighting a candle for the show. So
a gift. Right.
here we go. Smell test number 10.
Yeah, I think you should also.
Ooh!
Oh.
I love it.
Wow. Okay.
I actually like this one. It has a little bit of a sweet tooth stench, which I kind of I'm okay with.
Yeah.
You know, it feels brisk, it feels citrusy, and it also feels.
Does it feel of Guerneville? I mean, you've been.
It
to
almost.
Guerneville.
You know what? It has a pinesy kind of aromatic reverberation.
Right. I mean, it's of the redwoods as well, right? Guerneville of the or
It
by the
does.
redwoods. By the
No. I feel like it's like a sweet. It smells like a sweet pine.
Wait, can I get a whiff?
Yeah, take a whiff. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it.
Was that a gift?
This was a gift. This is a very recent gift, in fact.
And it is a gift.
Yeah, it's a gift.
It's a gift to us all.
mankind, Yeah. So this is a maybe.
I think I'm leaning towards this based on.
Okay. And I think you should also consider like the show. What do we want the show to smell like? Because we're going to be doing this for like approximately 90
Because
minutes.
the people are going to be experiencing that.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah. Exactly. Like we need to be setting the mood for you all. So
Right.
it's like.
All right. I'm going to dive into this Pacific Ocean.
By the way, I didn't read this comment, but I did want to. Star Amarasu, my friend, she said. They kind of give Goop Girl vibe, and I could see that. Yeah, these canisters themselves, I think, is what she's referring to.
Well, I'm not sure that Gwyneth would be willing to even venture so far as into such.
This is another new one.
Whoa, that is what you call a men's wear smell.
Really? Wait.
That is so man.
This is unlit.
That is the unhinged
Oh,
man.
come on,
That's
no.
the
This is-
unhinged. That's the unhinged city man.
This smells to me.
That smells like a young junior high school boy.
This has jasmine, grapefruit, and ocean rain notes. It's Pacific Ocean.
I smell a diamond stud for a single male ear.
Come on. That
Combined with
This is a walk on the beach.
a walk on the beach with a
I'm-
diamond stud for the male ear.
I don't know. I'm not.
I
sensing
smell
that. It smells
I
like
smell an album by Drake potentially within that entire
All right. It's a skip.
aromatic bouquet. I
Here,
smell. It's for men. It's for men.
Right.
It's for the-
Let's keep it moving here then.
All right, fine. Santal 26. Let me take a sniff.
Now this is a
Ooh, it's all right.
this is a fancy one.
That's
This is a
kinda
gift
good.
that I've actually quite frankly been afraid to light because it is such a fancy candle.
I feel that one is a little more subtle and it kind of works.
Okay.
We can move on.
Okay.
All right.
It's a maybe.
last of 3. Here we go. Ooh, okay. I don't know.
You don't know.
It's okay. No,
Okay.
It'll work.
This is teakwood and leather.
Leather. I do sense the leather
Right,
kind of
right.
persuasion.
That's a no.
All right.
From-
The Lovers. This is called The Lovers. Let's see if it smells like that.
Now this is a
Oh
gift from
my
my
God,
lover.
that smells like someone's lover. I don't know.
It's a gift from my lover.
Okay.
Mm,
Do you love that?
I do love it.
Does it remind you of your lover?
I mean, he doesn't particularly smell like that, but
Okay. Is there leather in there? I don't know.
good question.
Whoa.
That was blood orange, wild moss, and embers.
You know what? This one I don't know about. I'm okay with it, but let's move on.
Okay.
I think
This is
we're gonna,
rose, sandalwood rose.
Right. I think
I mean,
Guerneville by
rose.
the Redwoods is the one for me.
Okay.
Let's
so
go
light
for
it up.
with that for the show. You guys, we're going to go with it.
Light it up. We're lighting Guerneville
Oh,
by
do you
the
have the light?
Redwoods. I do. It's back over there. If you want to
Okay.
just go ahead and reach over there.
Ooh,
By the
wow.
way, we did also bring out a little
A
memory.
token.
A
token
of
from
appreciation.
past
If
good,
you were
better
here with
days.
us, if you were here with us on our episode 100, which is a really fun special episode that we had some guests on, we let ourselves indulge in a bottle of Cristal, which we had kind of always.
We rewarded ourselves for
yeah.
the many moons of hard work that Totally Tell Me had endeavored
Yeah.
upon.
we-
It was for the
to
100th
be-
episode.
Yeah, to be exact, 100 things that we.
100 days of
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah. What do they say about like how many hours you have to put in to be a pro? Because we didn't do that, but we got. I mean.
Oh, I think
100.
it's 25,000.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna have to
Maybe?
get. So then we're gonna have to get to episode 250 to technically have done that.
2,000. No, 25.
Oh wait.
Thousand.
Oh, 25,000, not 2,500.
I'm pretty sure it's 25,000.
Oh Jesus, we're never getting there. So anyways,
Or days? I don't know.
on the way we figured why not just have a bottle of Cristal because we'd never had it. And
Well,
it
we
was
all
amazing.
wanted to try what a bottle of Cristal, as referred to by all the great, people in the world, such as Quentin Tarantino and probably Snoop Dogg and other people along that line,
Now I'm
have
gonna move
said
this
and referred to
candle-
as being the best tasting sparkling wine that there is, which makes every other sparkling white wine taste like, in the words of Quentin Tarantino, like piss. So we wanted to try it, and you know what? I think my response to it was, it's not that great.
I mean, it was fine.
It was fine,
It was fine.
but I've had better. No offense.
Right.
But I'll take more if somebody wants to give it to me.
Chris
Flieger, hello,
Flieger
you're
is
here.
in the chat. Which candle would you say is of the bi-weekly persuasion?
I would have to say Guerneville by the Redwoods. Among the selection that is
Mhm.
available to us at the moment.
Which we are
That's the
currently
only
sniffing.
one.
Laura, if you want to just like kind of move your head a little bit ever so out of the
Oh.
way, the opposite direction.
Oh.
So it is currently lit, as you can see, and so
Oh, it's
that's
lit.
what that we are currently sniffing the bi-weekly persuasion.
And so are you out
Yeah.
there.
Anyways, I do feel like we have a hefty bit of
My
an
way.
episode coming our way, and I'm sure we'll chit chat in between things as well. And let me just say too, like, this isn't a normal episode for us. Usually on our episodes, we'll review one film. We'll kind of chit chat in the first half episode, and then we get into a film. We do like a deep dive into that film, first spoiler free, and then we get into spoilers. But this episode we wanted to kind of do, which we've done a couple times before, a recap episode. So we're gonna be counting down our top 10.
It's
But
the
just so you know,
annual
it's not-
top 10. It's
Right.
the annual beginning of the year top 10.
Right. We only
of
do
the
these
previous
episodes
year.
once a year, but we figured why not start with a little special one, and then we'll get
Right.
back into our more regular programming, which I think this will probably be a slightly longer episode and just a different format. So, this isn't how we always do it, but it is how we will be doing it for today. So look, let me pull this up. We have some blank lists here, as you can see on the screen. For our video listeners, audio listeners, I'm so sorry, but we will be saying what our top 10s are as we get to them. But we have up in this corner my 10, your 10. They're totally blank as of now. So I think what we should do is go back and forth. Like I'll say a 10, you say a 10, or vice versa. If you want to, do you want to go first?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with my 10, and then Laura's gonna go with her 10, and we're gonna keep on going all the way up until we get to our number 1, and we'll stop here and there and we'll chit chat, and we also want to hear from you too. Like, let us know what some of
Your
your favorite.
10 is.
Yeah, let us know what some of your favorite, or let us know
Number
what your
10.
favorite movie is. Yeah, or actually,
Okay.
yeah, your number 10.
Whatever you want to let
or
us know.
let us know what your number 6 is.
There's no rules in the chat, people, other than if you say something we don't like, we'll block you. But
we will block. We are not afraid to block,
you can
and
say
we will.
whatever you want. I guess you
Right.
can try. I don't know.
So okay, to kick us off, hold up, my number 10 for 2023. Talk to Me. Talk to Me.
Didn't see it.
Didn't see it?
No.
So this is a horror film. Came out in the summer, I believe. It's from I think it's brothers. Hold up. I'm gonna fact check myself a little bit here. But Talk to Me is directed by Michael Philippou and Danny Philippou, and they are brothers. Talk to Me is a horror film. It's kind of like it takes the idea of like a curse film a la The Ring, or this kind of like early 2000s. I feel like in the early 2000s, like there was like this big wave of curse horror films, and I think it does something really unique with it. It's about this cursed like hand, this like mannequin hand, that of course the story that these kids are saying is that the hand is a real hand that has been like encased in wax or something like that. Anyways, so like you put your hand, like you shake the hand of this object, and then you get possessed by the
curse passes on to you.
Well, it's sort of like no, you can speak with the other side.
Oh.
And you can communicate just while you're holding it.
Oh.
But of course things begin to go awry, and like et cetera, et cetera. I thought this was kind of the horror movie of the year. Like I think horror has been in a weird spot the last few years, and for me this was, I don't believe I put a horror movie above, or I have like a thriller above this, but this is like the only straightforward horror movie I have on my list. And I'm a huge fan of horror, and for me this was like a kind of fun little return to form. So that's what I have to say about Talk to Me.
Side note, okay, I don't remember the name of it, but I was browsing through movies the other night on, I guess maybe Amazon or maybe something else, and I came across a movie that looked good. Maybe it was an occult centered movie. It was like about a witch of some kind. And
from last year, or just
I don't know.
recent?
I think it might have been from last year.
Okay.
And I kind of wish I would have watched it, and I wish I even knew the name of it. So at this point, it's sort of pointless to talk about, but it looked like it could be fun, Like, I mean, it was, the subject matter was the type of thing I'm into in terms of, like, if we're talking about horror movies, the types of horror movies that I gravitate towards are usually ones to do with the occult and witchcraft or Satanism in general.
Yeah, this isn't like full occult, I would say.
No,
but
it doesn't sound like
I
it.
think you
No,
could.
it sounds like
I think
not
you could still
quite.
get into it a little bit. It's got some like somewhat occult vibes. Nicole, what's up? Nice to see you in the chat. Nicole says, "Talk to Me would definitely make my top 10 too, probably even top 5." Let's see. Trey Brown, if that's how I say your name. The hand. Wait. The hand whacks you off.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Where?
Bryce is saying that I'm gonna say Dominic's number 6 is Saltburn. You shall see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and then Trey Brown said I'm gonna say Dominic's number 6 is Anatomy of a Fall. Again, you shall see. All right, Laura, what's your number 10?
Okay, I should probably preface my list with a little disclaimer, which is that
Go on.
I really, just no offense, and I hate to be the Debbie Downer of the party tonight, but I did not like most of the movies that came out that I saw. That's a big asterisk right there. Of the movies that I saw this year, I just can't say that I felt that very positively inclined towards most of them. I just didn't feel it was a great year for cinema. I don't know. But then again, there were some things I didn't see, and, perhaps that could have lifted my spirits with regard to the subject. But I think that with regard to my top 10 list, after number 3, all of it is just sort of like neither here nor there. I mean, it could have been, most of anything, because I didn't really care about
3,
them.
so like 4 to 10.
Yeah, like 4 to 10. It's kind of just like whatever, I'm just kind of I'm spitballing, as they say here. I'm just kind of trying to fill in the blanks. But I didn't feel passionately about any of them, really. So that's, and no offense.
Wait, actually, I'm gonna add my disclaimer too, which is so I'm putting these movies for me, like the definition of a 2023 movie is if it got a wide release in 2023, because there are a couple things that I was considering putting on, but technically they haven't been like wide released yet. So I'm like, I took something off. Maybe I'll say it at the end or something, but yeah. So like, it's just calendar year stuff. And I mean, like, I think probably like top 5 is what I would say are like must see movies for me. And 6 through 10 are like, I highly recommend them, but it's not like it's for everyone or whatever, you know?
Like, I didn't even feel that I had like even 3 must see movies.
Oh, I would say my top 5 are all must sees, but yeah. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What can I say? We'll talk more.
Anyways.
Okay. Number 10, and this could have been anything. I just threw this in here. I guess.
Oh, wait. And one last thing I will say. I do not know Laura's list, and she does not know my list. No, he doesn't know, and I don't know. So I'm going to be like typing it in as she says it.
No, Dominic's going to just be like, what the hell are you just saying and talking? He's going to hate me after this, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's all a mystery to me.
Okay. So for me, number 10. Oh, okay. What do I want to say here? Okay, so it could either be... All right, I guess I'm going to put in at number 10, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh my God.
Do I care at all about this movie? No. Would I have ever in a million years decided to watch this movie? Hell motherfucking no. I mean, any franchise movie that was great in the 90s or 80s that is now trying to continue its, legacy with new shit is usually, in my opinion, my expectation of it is very low, and I don't think that it's going to be something that is suited towards my tastes. But somehow or another, I was wrangled into watching this movie, and you know what? It was a little better than I expected.
Oh my God.
And I'm a huge fan of the franchise. Well, I really like Indiana Jones's 1s, 2, and 3s. 1s, 2s, and 3. I mean, after 3, it was just sort of like a black hole of despair. But
wait, hold up. Bryce said,
no offense.
I'm going to say Laura's number 1 is Indiana Jones 5.
Right, Bryce, you're wrong. It's not number 1.
This is going to be our
it's
final
number
episode.
10, but add a 0 there, and you're correct. Yeah, off by 9. The thing is, though, is it's, and if my brothers were here, they might even have something better to say about it than me. It's, like I said, my numbers 4 through 10 are just whatever. You know what I mean? That could have been number 4, honestly. Maybe. No, I don't know. I might have liked a couple movies more than this, but that I saw that are in that area. But yeah, I guess number 10 is Indiana Jones. Dominic, did you see the movie?
No, I did not.
Do you have any interest?
Absolutely not.
Did you see like Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Oh, the three classics. Yeah.
So do you love those?
From
like
what
Temple
I
of
recall,
Doom?
yeah. Yes. I mean,
what's your favorite?
Look, if you're like, I watched them all when I was a kid. Like, for me, they're interchangeable, so I don't really remember like what happens in
interchangeable.
Look, I just watched them all, like 1, 2, 3, whatever. I'll just watch them. Like,
wow.
Like I just loved all 3 of them when I was a kid. I honestly have not seen them since I was a kid, so I can't really like. I just don't feel like I can say if one is my favorite.
Oh my God!
I guess I like the one where he takes the heart out. Which one is that?
That's Temple of Doom.
So I think that was the one I watched the most.
Yeah.
So, there's
well, that one I think is the most exciting, but at the same time, growing up, always my favorite one was The Last Crusade. But yeah, so when they started releasing ones after number 3, I just thought, what the hell are they trying to do? They're going to freaking, stain this legacy with poor choices. Which, it felt, and no offense, again, to the people who are involved in the pictures. However, yeah, that's number 10. There's not a whole lot more to say about it. But you know what? It did surpass my expectations. It was a little better than I expected. So I'll give it that.
I will say I'm shocked because I've heard, honestly, mostly bad things about this film.
Oh, yeah. No, there are bad things. But also, I didn't see that many movies. So it was a struggle to like come up with 10 movies. So that's kind of why that's on the list.
Sure. It's totally fine.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Should we keep moving then?
Yes.
So number 9 for me is Barbie.
Oh, my God. Mm-hmm.
Did you see Barbie?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that was one I saw that I didn't even put on the top 10. No offense.
Holy shit.
I know. Sorry.
Wow.
No.
So you put Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny over Barbie.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It just wasn't for me. Sorry.
No.
Talk about how you felt, though. It's probably on a much more positive note. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I thought it was like mostly a really fun movie, and I think like look, I mean, obviously it's worth talking about that Barbie and Oppenheimer came out on the same day and became like a huge thing for like people talking about going to the movies and like, oh, which one are you gonna see? For me, I felt like it was a little silly that people were like picking camps, but I was really excited to like see people be excited about going to the movies this year. And I feel like Barbie had a large part in that. So I mean, you know, it's not like that has anything to do with the movie itself, but I just wanted to like throw that out there, that I'm glad that Barbie and Oppenheimer brought people back to the movies, and it really did. Like theaters got like a bit of a shot in the arm this year because of those two movies. But to speak to the movie itself, I thought this was like pretty fun, you know, like I thought it was creative and funny and clever. I thought you know, the to kind of take it into a kind of meta direction and not just be like what I thought it was going to be, which was I thought it was going to kind of be dumb, to be honest. I didn't have high expectations for Barbie, and I wasn't really watching like a lot of the marketing, so I didn't really know what they were going for. And so for me, like I thought it was more clever than I anticipated, and I really liked that. You know, again, like I don't think it's like a must-see film, but I do think that it was better than I anticipated, and so it makes my list simply for that.
Because it didn't make my list, I guess I'll talk a little bit about my feelings.
Yeah.
And
in
the words of
Nicole is with you, by the way. Nicole Van.
yeah.
Van
Okay,
Ness.
Nicole. Hi. We're on the board here.
She says Barbie wasn't great. I agree.
Yeah, and I know that my opinion is probably moving against the popular opinion at this point, or not aligned with, but it just was, in the words of Anton Patzner, the great. It wasn't a movie; it was a lecture.
Oh, come on!
That's what it felt like. Sorry,
just that one part is, which I totally agree.
Like the whole thing. It was just like just bashing you over the head with a message, and I just, that alone is enough to make me very sort of disinterested in a movie. But it just wasn't my thing. Oh wait, I will say that some of the art direction was interesting and cool, and I thought that was a redeeming thing. But that is not enough to carry me through a movie. Like if it's just style over substance, that's really, it almost works against it to a degree. But at the same time, I think movies are largely a visual medium, and so if they're going to utilize that aspect of it in a in a maximum potential kind of way, then I think there's some points to be had for that. So I'll give it that. But overall, oh no, I'm so sorry. I just really, really disliked it, and I felt that it was sort of it really wasn't helping the cause a little. I mean, for me. But I think that other people felt that it did. You know, I think that a lot of people. Like
it went overboard with its message, I suppose, in a couple points for me. But I also felt like it didn't really like. It wasn't like annoying to me.
I thought it was. I hate to say it, but annoying. No offense.
All right.
I just felt that it was annoying, and that you know, it was not subtle. It was so lacking in like nuance and just sort of. Yeah, it just didn't have that sort of that nuanced, graceful way of conveying an idea. You know, it was just very sort of hitting you over the head. I mean, it was just so extreme. It was like they had to freaking spell it out in every way they possibly could. And I just, you know, that's just how I felt about it. No offense.
Let's read Star's comment here. Funniest thing I saw today was Marina Abramovic. I don't know who she is. Abramovic. Talking about Barbie, saying she didn't like it because she didn't play with dolls. In the USSR, she played with invisible beings and shadows, which made me laugh. But I like the idea of bringing back a Hollywood epic and having it be pretty and girly for most of the movie. Yeah, I just thought it was fun. You know, like let's have some fun sometimes.
I just felt that it wasn't fun. I felt that it was just unfun.
Fair enough.
You know,
right.
I like fun.
Should you do your 9?
Oh, sure. My 9. Great. So now I have to lay into something again. Let's see. I guess we'll talk. I'll throw number 9 as. See, it's weird. I wrote out my list, but I'm still kind of working it out. I think for me, number 9 would have had to be May-December.
May-December. Okay.
Also, yeah, I didn't love this movie. No offense, but It just, I felt that the running gag throughout the movie, I guess I wasn't even sure if it was supposed to be a joke, but the music was so
Oh yeah.
unbearable and like
What?
yeah.
Well, I thought it was very intentionally like being kind of a soap opera. And
I
like,
know, but it
overdramatic.
was just like, why ruin the whole movie with this one joke that is not really that funny? You know what I mean?
You mean because you felt like they were repeating?
The joke is like this overly dramatic music that was a reference to some other whatever they got the music from, and they were
Well, I think
using
it was
it
a
in
score.
these. No, well, it was from something or whatever.
I think it was a score, was it not?
The music was it was actually like from something else.
So there wasn't an original score for the film?
Well, I don't know. I just know that the main theme that they kept playing after every like whatever dramatized moment of conflict or whatever tension was some music that was taken from something else. I forget what it was, but
All right.
I was just like, are they serious with this music or what? And then I read, I was reading some, reviews on it and various insights about the movie, and it was supposed to be a joke, but I just feel that the joke, I mean, for me, it just the type of humor that is embedded within that kind of a joke is not really my humor. You know what I mean? It's a bit on the thespian sort of side of things. It doesn't really speak to my inner, you know what I mean?
I like how you're going through your top 10 list and you're like, and my number 9 didn't really love it.
No,
Like,
I
here's the
didn't.
things that I like didn't really like about it. The score was a little overbearing.
Yeah, and it was like not, and yes, Nicole, thank you. It wasn't fun, exactly. And to have it be the thing that happens throughout the whole movie is just like, hello.
For our audio listeners, you should.
Oh, yeah, Nicole said it wasn't fun exactly. Yes, it wasn't fun exactly. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was a little exploitative, I guess, if we're going to be honest, I mean.
So what did you like about it? Did you?
I thought, what did I like about it?
I mean, you liked this more than Indiana Jones.
I liked it more than, because I do think, and I did think that, Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore's performances were very good, and I think also the main guy, sorry, let me just find his name,
Charles Melton.
Charles Melton, yeah. I thought he was great. I thought his performance was really good. I mean, like, basically the pivotal moments of drama like that happen for that character are enough to make me feel like, okay, this is a good performance, and I can applaud that.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, as a movie, like, would I ever watch it again? No, probably hell no. But how about you?
It actually didn't make my top 10, so I may as well just be chatting about it.
So you like Barbie more than this? Wow.
I did, but I really liked this movie. I thought it did some really interesting stuff, but for me, I felt like there was a few major problems I had with it. Like the ending, I thought was a little I don't want to get into it again. We're not going to spoil any of the films we're going to talk about, but for me, it just didn't fully hit. I was just gonna mention though that this is directed by Todd Haynes. I'll try and say the director's. I'll try and be better.
Yeah,
about that
Todd Haynes, indeed.
But this is a Todd Haynes film. He did Carol, which I did rewatch. Have you seen Carol?
I have not.
I rewatched it after I watched May December. I liked May December. It was still a really fun time. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I just thought it wasn't a success to me. But I love Carol. I rewatched Carol and I was like, damn, that movie is so good. So I just feel like if you saw May December and you liked it, highly recommend Carol. A film, let's see, he did that in 2015. So check that out. Should we keep it going?
Sure. Yeah. What was your so number 8 for you?
Yeah, so now we're going to get to number 8. My number 8 is Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that, unfortunately. I probably should see that.
Oppenheimer is directed by Christopher Nolan. It came out the same day as Barbie. Christopher Nolan, if you don't know, I mean, he's a major director, but he directed Interstellar, the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Memento, Tenet, and this is his latest film about Oppenheimer, the man who created the atomic bomb. The film is a biopic, but it's very kind of I don't know. It's like it gets into the weeds of the science for sure, but I also think there's a pop element to it of it makes it very exciting. Even though a lot of there are long stretches of the film, for example, that I'm trying to keep up with what they're saying, because they're talking a lot of borderline gibberish to me as someone who does not understand the theories, the scientific theories behind the atomic bomb. But like the humanity of it is, I think, very much present. Christopher Nolan films sometimes to me can be a bit cold, and I do feel like this film is a bit cold at times too, but
oh, right. That was Christopher Nolan. Okay.
This is all, this
That's
is
all I
Christopher
need
Nolan.
to know. No offense.
I don't think you would like it personally, but I do think it's a good movie. Like, I think, and I will say, like, part of what I think is so fantastic about seeing this film was seeing it on the big screen. I saw it in IMAX on opening weekend, and like, I think it was entirely shot in IMAX, which to me was like really exciting because I believe this is the first feature length film that was entirely shot in IMAX, whereas like many films that you might see in IMAX, you'll see like a sequence that's shot in IMAX and then it'll kind of go back to your more standard aspect ratio. But Oppenheimer, the entire thing is shot in IMAX with IMAX cameras, and visually it is truly spectacular. Like if you were able to see it on the big screen, and I know that they're kind of like, I think they're bringing it back into cinemas for this festival season too. So if you can, I do think it's a movie worth seeing on the big screen. Like the sound and visuals of this film are truly spectacular, and for me is what pushed it into the top 10. I don't think it's like watching it on a laptop screen would make it a top 10 movie. Like I think I was so overwhelmed by the visuals of it all that I was like anxious in the theater, like leading up to their test of it, and other things that happen, like that are of extreme, like the stress of the film is really ratcheted up. Like they really kind of like guide you. They raise the stakes more and more as things are going on. And I also think the performances were really incredible. Yeah. All right.
Sounds
Anyways,
good to me. I mean, maybe not.
Nicole says, my housemate was shocked that I wanted to see Barbie in theaters rather than Oppenheimer. Look, I think I'm glad that people went to the theaters at all. So I'm glad you saw at least one. Okay. Laura, what is your number 8 film?
You know something? Oh, no, you mean 7?
No, number 8. You have Indiana Jones.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Number 9 is May, December.
Oh, yeah. I screwed up a little bit here, but okay.
Do you want to read?
Oh, no. 7. Okay. No, 8.
No, 8.
8. Sorry. Right. No, I'm going. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. Guess number 8, I suppose. Screw. I'll throw it in as Beau is Afraid.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Contrary possibly to popular opinion. I don't know. Maybe some people didn't like it also, but no, I didn't dislike it. No, I kind of did.
Right, I forgot. We're still in the part of your list of your top 10 films in which you
that
hate
I didn't
the film.
like. Yeah. Right. It should be called Laura's top 10 movies that she didn't like.
Right.
No. Beau is Afraid. Okay, let's see. Here's why I'm putting it as number 8, because I didn't enjoy this movie, but I can see that it's kind of good. You know what I mean? It's kind of a good movie that I did not enjoy.
So we should say that this is the latest film from Ari Aster,
who I love as a director, one of my top favorite directors of our current day.
Yeah, this is his third feature film. He did Hereditary and then Midsommar, and this is now his third film.
And the Midsommar is probably it is in the top 3 favorite movies that came out for me in the last 15 years.
So
Midsommar, I love Hereditary. Nicole, my list is not good. Don't listen. I don't know shit about anything. Okay, no one's gonna agree with my opinions here. I'm telling you that right now.
We should read her comments.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Nicole. Wow. Nicole Vanna said, "Wow, number 8. This is crazy. Laura's list must be very good." No, it's not good. So
look, I'm with you, Nicole.
What you will.
I loved Beau is Afraid. You might be hearing more about that later.
No, I figured you would. And you know what? Other people I know loved it. I just didn't love it. What can I say? I don't want to watch it again. I don't want to be in that world. I didn't enjoy it. But I can see that it's good.
Uh-huh. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, of course, but what about the first kind of third of the film?
I just didn't like it.
You didn't like that?
I just didn't really enjoy it.
You didn't think it was just absolutely hilarious?
No. See,
okay.
I think that what I find hilarious in movies and in life is not necessarily what you do. But yet we laugh together. It's interesting.
No, we have different tastes for sure.
No, in movies, I just feel like I don't know. There's just certain things that I don't think are funny that are supposed to be funny, and it happened a lot in the movies that came out this year. However,
Josh says, I thought it was a tad too long. Which
yeah,
is,
a tad too long is a tad bit of an understatement. No offense.
No offense to who?
To anyone,
Okay.
Especially Josh. No, especially to Beau is Afraid, Beau himself. No. Joaquin Phoenix, an amazing actor. I can applaud him for many different accomplishments that he has made in his life and his acting career.
And I hate to say it, but he is working with him for his next film as well.
I'm okay with that. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm happy to watch Joaquin Phoenix on the big screen. I'm happy to watch him on a smaller screen.
Okay.
I loved him in Parenthood as a teen. But, I just, this was not the kind of movie that is for me. Even though you'd think it would be. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, there was like recent news about that I was trying to pull up, but I can't. If anyone in the chat knows the name of Ari Aster's upcoming film, all I know is there was recently some news about it because they're like currently location scouting, and I know that Ari Aster's teaming up again with Joaquin Phoenix, and it's going to be a Western set during the pandemic, which I think is interesting. I know they're going to be shooting in New Mexico, I believe.
Man, I want more witch and Satan movies from him.
Well, look, I would love that too.
Ari.
Well, I
think that maybe that's why I liked both of his, liked him so much as a director, because, first we had Hereditary, and then we had
Cult, for sure,
and then we had Midsommar.
Yeah,
those are kind of existing in the same, stratosphere. You know what
for
I mean?
sure. Yeah, like they're
and they speak to my aesthetic appeal, or my preferences, stylistically and aesthetically, and just subject wise.
They're more horror films for sure.
They're horror, but also the type of horror films that they are the type that I'm into. You know what I mean?
Sure. Look, I'll save my speech about Beau is Afraid for a little later. Should we keep moving?
Yes.
Do you have anything to say?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. I figured you would save your speech for Beau is Afraid a little bit later.
All right. My number 7 film for 2023 is The Zone of Interest.
Didn't say it. I'll be quiet.
The Zone of Interest is the new film from Jonathan Glazer. Jonathan Glazer did...
Terry Glazer's brother. No offense.
What?
No. I said Terry Glazer's brother. I'm kidding. Do you know Terry Glazer?
No, I don't know who that is.
Musical artist? Band
Unaware.
or whatever?
Completely unaware.
Never mind.
Jonathan Glazer
I'm surprised you
did... he's only done 3 other films. His first film was Sexy Beast, which I did not see. Then he did Birth with Nicole Kidman, which, by the way, is absolutely incredible. Must see that movie.
When did that
I
come
believe
out?
It's from 2004.
Okay.
Incredible film.
Really?
Highly recommend. Then he did Under the Skin. This dude makes one film a decade, okay? His next film was 2013's Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, which I also thought was absolutely incredible. And now this is his latest film, which is, again, 9 years later. 10. Is it 10 years? Yeah, 10 years later. Here we are with The Zone of Interest. The Zone of Interest is what?
I would not. No, you finish your thought.
The Zone of Interest is a film set during the Holocaust. And I think, there are, of course, many films that deal with this subject matter. And it's, of course, always like really intense and sad. And I think also at times like can be overdone a bit,
So you didn't like Schindler's List?
Well, look, I loved Schindler's List for what it was, but
you loved Schindler's List. Did you ever see anybody
no,
and go, "I love that movie. It's so fun"?
No, but I would. What I was gonna say is, I would never like rewatch the movie. I would never rewatch.
I'm kidding.
You know what I mean? Like it's like the kind of film that is just like. And
I saw that when I was in 4th grade.
Well, I think that's
in
about
the
when
theater.
I last saw it. Yeah.
That was like my first introduction to like the Holocaust in general.
Really?
Yes, it was very affecting towards me.
I saw it in middle school. I think I was like in 8th grade or something. Of course, deeply upsetting.
Okay. So you saw it like just way after me.
Yeah.
But not in the theater.
No, I didn't see it in the theater. Okay. No. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, like, look, I mean, these films can often be really intense. But what I want to say about Zone of Interest, though, is I think the perspective that he chooses to go with makes the film really unique, and also I think more affecting to me personally. Like, it didn't feel like it was, I don't know, like pulling heartstrings for like, or like taking like kind of more cheaper angles. I hate to say it, but like I just feel like there's certain ways that you can do these kinds of films, and it's just like I almost feel like they're just meant to make you feel sad. But this film, I think it's more about like it's more exploring like lack of empathy and lack of
like the motivations in a way.
Like it's not following like a Jewish family or something like during it. It's following one of the commanders of Auschwitz, but you're never seeing anything that's like happening in Auschwitz. It's all about him like in his family's home, like in the home that he's living in with his family, and it's kind of like this. It's like just over the wall, horrific things are happening, and you have this like looming sense of like the intensity of what is happening around them, but it's like about how these people are like compartmentalizing what they're doing and like like living this what they feel like is a normal life despite the fact of the horrific tragedy and like the scope of what is happening around them. So I don't know, I felt like the perspective of it made it unique and totally worth watching. And there's like these kind of surreal moments, which I think Jonathan Glazer is so good at. These kind of like liminal moments where it gets into like these kind of abstract feelings. The score is extremely minimal, but like when it occurs, it's just like I was so anxious in the theater watching this, like despite sometimes very little like happening, I suppose. Like it's a lot of watching people live their lives, but then like these moments will happen that like escalate things internally for you. And I just felt like it was brilliant filmmaking. So huge shout out to The Zone of Interest.
Brilliant. So little tidbit here.
Yeah.
I just got a text message from the one and only Brent Weinbach.
Okay.
Who made a request to call in on speakerphone to talk about Jones, aka Indiana.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Should we bring him in?
Bring him in, yeah. Call him up.
All right, Weinbach. It's all you. I'm calling you right now. If you're there, you're there. If not,
so I will say Brent
lost.
Weinbach is Laura's brother, who they actually do a podcast together. Do you want to?
Called The Chicken Coop, who many of you may already know because you probably came here from that, but that's okay.
Yeah, you can find The Chicken Coop on YouTube, right? When are you guys live?
Monday nights at 6 on. So
that's another thing you can check out, you know?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I'm calling the wrong number. Sorry, let me call a different number. My bad.
While you do that, let's take a look in the chat here.
Yeah.
Nolan Ford, who a friend of ours, said, "Did you guys
Hi, Nolan.
Did you guys like Blackberry?" Nolan, I didn't see Blackberry. What is Blackberry? Tell me about it.
Oh, it's about Blackberries and whatnot. No, like the phone, how it was created.
Oh, actually, yeah, I was actually curious to see that movie. I totally forgot about it, but thanks for the reminder. Actually, I will look into that. It's like a documentary, right? Did you see it?
I don't think it's a documentary, is it?
Oh, I thought it was.
I thought it was like a,
It's not like a true crime
based
documentary?
on fiction type of thing or whatever.
The true crime documentary of how they made a BlackBerry?
Man, Brent's blowing it over here. I'm calling his ass, but he ain't answering. So
well, look,
I don't know.
If Brent doesn't pick up, maybe he can call back and we'll get him on there.
Okay. Nope.
No. Okay. Well, Brent, look, if you're listening, give us a call. We'll get you on speakerphone. We'll get you in here to talk about
that was only
Indiana Jones.
Less than 20. Oh no, that was 21 minutes ago that he texted.
It's all good.
We'll see.
Nikki Weinbach, your other brother, says Barbie was the worst movie I saw this past year.
Oh, for a second I saw that comment and thought it said wasn't the worst movie I saw this year and wondered what was, but no, it was that. Okay, yeah. Well, we are not dissimilar in that. No, I don't know. Wait, did I say Barbie was the worst? No. Wait, yes, I did. No. It's interesting because for me, the top 10 list was what was the worst one? What should I put at number 10? I don't know. But I really don't want to say that about it because you know what? It was good.
I thought it was good.
I loved it.
And then my mom's coming in with
I loved it.
She's swooping in and letting me know that Ari Aster's next film is called Eddington. So that was a little fact check for me.
Eddington.
I was trying to remember what that was called, but Eddington is his
like the Eddington Bear.
Perhaps so.
I'm kidding.
All right, let's keep it moving here with Laura's number 7.
Oh shoot! Wow. Okay. Well, my number 7.
Number 7, least hated movie of the year.
Least hated movie. Yeah, I think it's probably what we should call it. were not as hated as number 8.
Right.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
I didn't hate these movies.
There's
though.
6 movies that you hated a little less than the film we're about to hear about, which is.
So, I know this is going to be contrary to popular opinion. I mean, in terms of its relationship to what was lower on my list, being Beau's Afraid. Saltburn, believe it or not.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
you
I
put Saltburn.
I put Saltburn.
Over
I
Beau Was
know.
Afraid.
I feel
Okay.
a bit guilty. I feel a little
Wow.
obtuse about it, and I feel like it's maybe wrong. But you know what? I'm doing it because I'll tell you why.
Okay, yeah. Tell us. Wait, actually, so Saltburn is the second film from.
Oh yeah, here I'll tell you. I got it right here. It's director Emerald Fennell,
That's right.
starring Barry Keoghan.
Incredible
And Barry
actor.
Keoghan, great actor. Not the best first name. It's okay. I don't mind you as a
Barry?
person. Yeah, I just imagine having to date somebody
What was
named
the Barry watching this
I'm
right
sorry,
now?
Barry, if you're out there. If
Or
you're
listen-
somebody listening, we like you. We'll talk about it.
Her
It
previous.
must be difficult.
I do want to say her previous film is Promising Young Woman, which we did review on this podcast.
And I didn't love either.
I didn't love that movie.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not love that.
Oh,
movie.
I thought you loved it.
Promising Young Woman.
Yeah, I thought.
I
you
thought
did.
it was fine.
Oh.
I thought it was like, I'm interested to see
Well,
what
I'm
she
glad
does
you
next.
didn't love it.
You know, interested to see what she does next is how I felt about that.
I
movie.
don't know if I'm interested in what she does next. No offense.
Oh, I am.
No, I mean I'm fine with it. It's just okay. Here's the thing. I do feel. No, it's fine. You know what? This movie was fun. I felt that it was actually a fun kind of movie a little bit, but ultimately vacant and vapid and not really great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just sort of, again, another example of a style over substance situation where it's reaching, it's trying, but not quite achieving the thing that it wants to achieve. And you know, there's versions of this movie that are, I hate to say it, but just better, and that happened already.
Like Talented Mr. Ripley.
Like Talented Mr. Ripley and other such flicks as that. And you know, that I feel like there was something to its core that is a little more resonant, that stays with you longer than this movie Saltburn does. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies that you can kind of you venture into it thinking there's going to be a payoff. You know what I mean? And it feels okay. The guy in it, what's his name? Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
Hot as a dick. You know what I mean? I'll take him.
You don't think Barry's hot?
I don't think Barry's hot.
Oh,
no.
come on.
He's not my type.
Look,
no
he's my
offense.
type.
I know he's your type.
He's my type.
I know.
Like Jacob to me is a little more like your everyday.
Jacob
your
is the
everyman.
Timothée Chalamet of the day. And
Oh, come off of it.
what? No, I will not come off of it. Wait, is Timothy
I just feel
Elordi in? Is he in that HBO show that I don't love?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, God, about that.
Euphoria?
Yes.
He's definitely not in Euphoria.
Oh, good. Okay.
Timothy Chalamet?
No, not Timothée Chalamet. Jacob Elordi.
No, yeah, he is in Euphoria.
Ah, shit.
Wait,
Oh,
you
what do
asked if
wanna do?
Timothy Chalamet was in.
Sorry, I was asking the wrong thing. But
Okay.
no, I think Jacob is definitely, you know, he's got some eye appeal.
I mean, he's hot in a very, like, I think, traditional kind of.
Yeah, he's hot in a traditional way, but like there's something that is attractive about that. Like I used to not be attractive to the traditional male, but in this particular instance, I find myself attracted to the traditional male.
Fair enough. To me, I find Barry, who is a little more
New, like sort
like
of, he's more offbeat.
He's an off-kilter attractive, and
a little
I'm more
offbeat.
into that.
You know what it
personally.
is about Elordi? I'll tell you what.
Oh, Lordy.
You know what? I don't like when he wears a tank top. Okay, the tank top look was not for me, and I felt that was not doing him a service as a hot young male, but
He's quite shirtless.
as a promising young man, which is what this movie should have been called. But he transcended it, and so for that I applaud him. And I thought his acting was good, and I thought Barry's acting was good.
Very good.
But very good indeed. And I thought that Rosamund Pike was fine, and you know, Richard E. Grant, also a good fun actor who was in Girls and other movies or other such.
I thought visually
filmmaking.
it was really cool too.
Yeah, visually it was fun. It was
Cinematography's great.
fun, but just basically just not. You know, it just didn't really do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's not on my top 10, and
Oh, wow.
for me, like,
I always thought you were gonna like it.
I did like it. Again, I liked it.
wow.
It just didn't quite crack the 10.
So
but
you actually liked Barbie more than this?
I did, yeah, I did.
God.
Well, because for me, like, Saltburn, I was actually really into it. It was about to definitely be in my top 10, but for me, it totally fumbled the landing, and I feel like had very mixed messaging on like. At the end of the day, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but like, I just felt like what what is that ending, or not even ending, but just like the entire like last third of the film to me totally upended what I thought the film was maybe trying to say. And then to me it just said nothing. Like or I guess whatever it was attempting to say was not what I thought
just felt
was worth saying.
Yeah.
Whatever that meant to me, I just like can't get behind, and I felt like it was kind of like stupid and really like uncalled for and kind of just like out of nowhere. Like to me,
No
it was completely
offense.
out of nowhere. No offense.
Did
to
you
what? Oh,
to her?
To Emerald?
Yeah, to Emerald.
Sorry,
Wait,
Emerald,
did you
if you're
like? Did you like The Talented Mr. Ripley?
Honestly, I have not seen The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Shit, Nike.
But I hear
Get your ass
I
to
hear
Mars.
great things. I hear great things.
It's a great movie. I mean, I loved that movie. You know, that was at a time when movies I thought were quite good.
Star Amarasu says Lordy is the Keanu of the day in terms of being booked right now, I feel. Yeah, he's like
Perhaps.
booked up and shit.
Is
you know?
he? What else is he in? I'll watch it.
Well, Euphoria.
No, I won't.
Well, Euphoria.
I did try watching Euphoria, and that is not for me.
He was also on Saturday Night Live this past weekend, or yesterday, I mean.
Okay. Man, he's going to become...
He's
well,
hot.
We'll
he's
see.
hot.
Right. I'm sure
like
he
hot
is.
as in he's
no,
like a hot
he's in demand.
topic, you know, in Hollywood or whatever they say.
Yeah.
Okay, should we keep it cruising?
So yeah, Saltburn is not the only reason. Wait, that was my number what?
Number 7, as you can see on this page right here. Look up.
Oh.
Up on the screen here. You see that?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Are you skipping
there
it?
We go.
I'm trying hard not to look at Laura's list, but she does
no,
have out currently
it's just
at the moment.
that well, no, that'll work. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Keep going.
So number 6 for me, Passages. Oh boy. So Passages, hold on. What was the director's name? I should have this a little more ready. Passages is Ira Sachs directed Passages. He did Keep the Lights On, which I absolutely loved. I think that was 2018.
Oh wait, what movie?
No, 2012. What?
Wait, sorry, your number.
Passages is the film.
Passages. I didn't see that. Also,
he did Keep the Lights On. Passages is kind of this film about this gay couple who one of the men in the couple has a one-night stand with a woman and is sort of uncovering his own feelings as to what he really wants, you know. Like in the relationship that he's in with this man, they've been together for a while and I think things are feeling a bit stale, and then he has this like one night fling with this woman, and it's sort of like this love triangle situation where he starts to fall in love, or he thinks he's falling in love with this woman, but I think it's kind of like this complicated kind of like love, because it's like, is he really in love with her, or does he just love the idea of anything that isn't his partner, or does he still love his partner but he just like needs something different in their relationship? And the film kind of like explores all these concepts, I think, like really quite brilliantly. And you know, just kind of like the concept of like you know, expanding monogamy too into like a gray area of like his partner is also sort of like exploring other avenues as well outside of the relationship that they've been in for quite some time. And I just think it was like really well done. I think the lead character, who is played by Franz Rogowski, he did such a good job in this movie. Like, I felt like he portrayed this like kind of slimy character so well. Like, he's kind of somewhat insufferable, but you kind of can't take your eyes off of him, you know. Like he plays it really well, like this guy who's kind of you know, potentially fucking up his relationship for something that like you don't, and potentially also fucking up the relationship that he's now building with this woman, you know. Like, I think it's a great like relationship drama, and for me was like one of the best films I saw.
Wow. Okay, coming in at number 7 for you.
Coming in
6.
Number 6. Number 6.
One of the best movies you saw. Wow. Okay.
I mean, yeah, there's only 5 better if we want to get pedantic with
well,
it.
Hey. Okay.
All right. Do you want to keep it moving?
Okay, we can keep it moving. Ah, shit. No offense.
No offense to. Oh yeah, because unfortunately this film.
No offense to the word, the sh word. Okay. Oh, so I'm at number 6. Yeah. Wow.
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting. It's not that interesting. Okay. I didn't. Oh yeah. I'm a little bit. Oh yeah. I'm kind of okay. I didn't number my things correctly, so I'm gonna have to kind of improvise here. But okay. I'd say for me, number 6, coming in at number 6. Again, this is gonna be contrary to popular opinion. So you know what? Hold your dicks. Just keep it cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna like this, but Poor Things.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, my.
Sorry. It's not. It's just not a choice.
So you're saying sorry because
I know you probably feel much stronger about this particular flick.
Yeah,
and maybe people who are watching here feel stronger about it, but.
So Poor Things. Let's set that one up. It's Yorgos Lanthimos directed that film.
Yorgos Lanthimos, starring Emma Stone. And. What's that guy's name? Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, and other people.
Yorgos Lanthimos directed The Lobster, The Favorite, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, and Dogtooth, most notably. But he has some other films as well. But he's kind of been on a bit of a streak. And we did do an episode on both Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Favorite. Yeah,
guys. I know people here like that movie, and I know you liked it, and I can see why it would sort of be able to cast such a spell on unassuming eyes. It's just, for me, again, another case of the old style over substance. No offense.
Style over substance.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry. I wanted to like it, and I think it was very glitzy and sort of catchy in the eye candy sort of sense, and yet it wasn't for me, because I felt like even though there were some probably really cool practical effects happening in this movie, it was a bit overridden by this sort of digitized gloss sheen that was laid over everything.
There's definitely some CG,
and I don't love that. For me, it really takes me out of it, and that was for me almost kind of like the main thing it had going for it, because I really just again, Yorgos Lanthimos for me is kind of hit or miss, and no offense.
No offense.
I would love to work with you, Yorgos. I just, I really liked Killing of a Sacred Deer. And for me, that was the main movie of his that I connected with, that I kind of walked away from thinking, this will stick with me for a little while. Poor Things, it was just, it felt excessive. It felt,
again, this is her number 6 film of the year.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was better than Barbie, 100%. But I just...
Barbie, the worst film that you saw this year.
I don't know. I struggled to find a grounded reason for really liking this movie, or even it just didn't.
That's crazy.
It didn't speak to me. What can I say?
Did you not think
and
that
I just
it was
felt there were
so much?
I think that it was interesting. Okay, just the idea of, for those who haven't seen it, it's about a kind of mad scientist creating a quote-unquote Frankenstein of sorts, but it's a female Frankenstein who is a woman. It's like the body of a woman who has passed away, who has killed herself, with the brain of an infant, her unborn child. Yeah. So what does that entail? And I think the question of that is an interesting question to ponder. The way that this movie answers that question is one route that you could take in answering that scenario, but it was the amount of explicit sexual content that was that was displayed in this movie was a bit, I felt that it was excessive, and it just felt almost just we're watching an artsy softcore porn, you know what I mean? That felt it was just indulging in that, and it was okay, I don't know if the filmmaker just wants to have an excuse to have sex happen in the movie, but also apart from that, just the artistic design of it, while it was colorful and dazzling to a degree, it wasn't quite, so it was kind of this postmodern neo-Victorian aesthetic, but the type of Victorian that it was very much about puffed sleeves and high necklines, and that's just not the era of the Victorian style that is my preference, which is fine. It's just, and it was kind of high fashion.
It's not really going for any one particular thing. It's a blend of multiple
things. Well, it's postmodern, it's it's a new take on it, which I appreciate. And I also appreciate the spirit with which this movie was made. I appreciate the artistic spirit behind the movie and the wanting to do something that's sort of outside the box, but it felt that it was distracting, like how many things that this movie was trying to squeeze in that were like experimental, that it lost me. It just felt like a little bit too much, trying to do too much and not being able to say enough. For me, it just felt, again, a little hollow at its core, and like maybe almost a little bit the word I'm looking for is trite. Yeah, I think maybe the message felt a little trite compared to the amount of things that it was trying to like fit in terms of the filmmaking style and just like the visual and aesthetic appearance of it, and the general information that it was expressing. I mean, all of the things that it was putting into this movie was so much. You know what I mean? It was just felt excessive on so many levels that it didn't really feel like there was enough space to really go anywhere for me.
I actually don't think it's that experimental. Like I think it's a strange film, I suppose, but I think like it's fairly accessible, especially in regards to his other films. Like I feel like this and The Favorite are probably I think where he's at right now in his filmography is he's making these films that like still, I think, maintain his integrity of kind of being this pretty wild director with like weird, crazy ideas, I suppose. But he's now doing it, I think, in a way that makes it far more accessible. And I think this is maybe his most accessible film. Yeah, I thought that already about The Favorite. I already thought The Favorite was like a huge step in the direction of like he's making a more mainstream version of what he does so well, but while still maintaining, like, he's not selling out. Like, to me, this isn't like a sellout version of what he does. It's just like a bigger version of what he does.
Well, it felt like perhaps more confined, like, artistic filmmaker was given a large budget and did this with it, and it was not in its interest. For me, and again, I know that you guys probably disagree with me, it's like all these, like the whole fisheye lens thing and like switching between these different types of camera lenses, and also like, the surrealistic aspect of the movie overall, like where, you're kind of confronted with these different settings that are interesting at first glance, but then kind of a little superficial feeling over, like at the core of it, I just didn't feel connected. But also there was like a lot of, in my opinion, kind of hammy humor tied into the movie. I'm not one of the people who was in the theater laughing out loud at the jokes that were being made. No offense.
Okay.
It wasn't for me. It felt like I was watching a group of thespians, laughing at each other's jokes that were written into the script, and it wasn't really for me. It was like this kind of, I don't know. I just imagine imagine going to a play and then somebody being like, and the giant fish was flapping around on the floor. And then like everybody laughing at that, thinking it's hilarious. And then you're, as the audience, is just like, what the hell are you talking about?
I think
that's
it's way more cleverly written than I think you're giving it credit for.
No offense.
I guess I'll just say
for me.
I'll say what I have to say for.
Yeah, you'll say what you have to say. I mean, but I do think that Emma Stone's performance was pretty good.
Incredible.
But yeah, it's like, and I like Mark Ruffalo. But like, I think that as a character, there were just some cheesy things that were written into his character. I mean, dialogue-wise, that I just felt was like a little, I don't know. I wanted to like it. I really did, but I just didn't love it. No offense.
All right, let's keep it cruising then. Number 5 for me is.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Hold up. Sorry. Number 5, All of Us Strangers. This is an Andrew Hay film. Andrew Hay, he did Looking, and he also did Weekend, another film that I absolutely loved.
Weekend. Wait, did I see that?
I don't know. Did you? It's from 2011. It's like two people kind of meet in happenstance, and they have like a kind of 24 or 48 hour kind of little fling.
I don't think I saw it.
It's really incredible. And then he also did Lean on Pete, which I liked. I thought it was good. And I mean, he's done many films, but he also did Looking, which was the HBO TV series. What?
Brent wants to get in, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get him in after I'm done talking about this.
No problem.
So Andrew Hay, his latest film, All of Us Strangers. It's another gay drama. I think he's like so good at like creating gay characters that to me feel very realistic and grounded and have like lots of depth. And it's oftentimes like, two people talking, but like
I love two people
yeah,
talking.
Yeah, like he just does that with such a degree of like the dialogue is so good in this movie. Both the performances are incredible. It's Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott. Both give incredible performances. It's also a beautiful film, but yeah, like cinematography wise, it's beautiful. But the film, it's about these two men who live in the same apartment building, and they kind of they in a sort of accidental way they find each other in the apartment, in the building, I mean. And one of them is a writer, and he's sort of struggling with coming up with this story that he's writing that kind of involves he's drawing from his parents, like his childhood and his parents, and so through meeting this guy, he abstractly and sort of in like this fantasy way is visiting his parents who are dead. So like there's this fantasy element to the film, but also it's like very grounded in reality with when he's like with the other guy. I don't know, maybe I'm not describing it super well, but like I don't want to give anything away as well. But I think this film to me like totally even surpassed expectations, and I was really excited for it. I felt like the music was incredible. I felt like the story went surprising places too. Like it wasn't just sort of like the kind of romantic drama that I thought it was. I didn't really I mean, I guess I've already said it, but like I didn't even know about like the kind of more fantasy element to it, which I thought really kind of created a hook for the film of like this guy who's having these conversations with his dead parents, and sort of coming to terms with like his own sexuality when he was a kid, and like what he would maybe imagine his parents would think of him now, like in this spot now. I think there's like a really interesting part of the film that kind of deals with like, how generations have changed with, how accepting parents are of gay children now versus like, approximately 20-25 years ago. So I just felt like it was like this very modern take on like a gay romantic drama that I felt was absolutely incredible. This is to me a total must see.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
See.
Obviously, you didn't like it as much as something else. It's okay.
There was 4 more films that I did like it more. Do you want to give?
All right, should we okay, people? We're gonna bring the comedian Brent Weinbach on board. He wants to chime in about Indiana Jones, possibly some chiming in on other stuff. Let's try it. Okay, here we go.
Let's check out the comments here.
Yeah, let's check out the comments.
In the meantime, people have a lot to say about Poor Things.
I know you guys loved it. Okay, Brent Weinbach. Okay.
Wait, you got to put a...
All right, he's on. You're on. Welcome to Totally Tell Me.
Listen. Hi, thank you for having me. I just wanted to say that what's it called? I just wanted to say that, well, first of all, I'm really surprised that you are that you had Indiana Jones so low on your list, just because
I didn't like it that much. No offense.
But
No,
but I watched it because you said that it was you said it was pretty good.
I did? Oh no, yeah, I said it was better than I thought it was gonna be, but it's not like I thought it was like some kind of top 10.
Myself, and I thought, because I think anytime they try to redo an old franchise, I feel like it's not good usually. I had low expectations, but you said it was good, and Kevin Conroy said it was good.
Right.
And I thought this is going to be, anyway, I thought it was good. I thought it was actually pretty good. And to be honest, I didn't like a lot of movies this year myself, similar to you. I kind of thought that, I just wasn't really I was underwhelmed by a lot of what I saw this year. I won't name names, But what I want to say is that Indiana Jones ended up being probably my top 5.
That is insane.
Well, that's your problem.
This is a fun movie, and it kind of adhered to a lot of the classic,
kind of
pacing and format of the old movies.
I don't know. I
Now,
just didn't
I
feel-
haven't seen it, Brent.
You put
Oh.
what?
Can you hear me, Brent?
Dominic's talking to you.
Now, I haven't seen it, but I heard that it's sort of like a bit of a CG mess.
It is in my. That's sort of what
say
pulls
you
me
on
out of
that?
it.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was that. Look, I'm not a CG person. You know, I'm not a CG.
You're not a CG
guy.
geek.
But I didn't. First of all, there's a horse in the movie, and I thought the horse was real. I can't believe that it was CGI.
Well, yeah, for me, I did feel that the CGI aspect of it pulled me out of the fantastical elements of one of the great things about the original, trilogy of I was going to say Foxtails Brigade Force. I meant to say Indiana Jones trilogy of the first three was that they had such great practical effects. You know what I mean? And that's part of the magic of those movies, that it really pulls you into that world. And this movie didn't do that for me fully, but I mean, it was better than I thought it would be.
I guess I just had really low expectations, and I thought, and because of that, I guess I liked it more. And also, like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not gonna say anything critical of any movie, but I'm just gonna say, on a personal level, Poor Things is not. That's just not my kind of movie, I mean, it's not for me. It's not my bag, It has nothing to do with the movie itself. It's just my own personal sensibilities. It's not, it's not for me. I mean, I don't want to watch, pornos. When I watch movies.
The fact that you're calling it a porno.
I'm just really surprised, and I'm just surprised, and especially after we talked the other night. I'm really surprised that you put that high up on your list and above Indiana Jones. In fact.
Oh, I thought it was better than Indiana Jones. Come on. No offense.
I had low expectations. Well, okay. Well, fair enough.
No, I mean, look at. I thought it was like, there were things about it that I thought were entertaining and that were also interesting and intriguing, and that I will, I'll credit, that.
I just want to say something. The artist that was mentioned earlier, Marina. What was her name? Marina.
I remember what you're saying, but I don't remember her last name.
Well, I think that's the artist who, with her partner, who she was with for a while. I think his name was Ule, maybe. But he died actually. But she. In that music video we watched, Laura, where the people are slapping each other in the face,
Yeah, I think so.
Well, she originated that as a performance with her partner, who is an artist as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a listener, an audience member, Nicole Vanist, asking you, Brent, what rank is the Super Mario Brothers movie for you?
Yeah, probably could be top 5 material. Could be
So there you go.
In the top 5 or maybe number 6 or something like that.
Okay, wow.
There was a lot I had low expectations for that too. So, that can really make you like a movie is if you have low expectations. But then again, I
agree.
had low expectations of a lot of movies, and they met those expectations. So, but I won't name names. But
Now, Brent, while we have you, do you have like a number 1 movie that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I don't want to upstage. I have a feeling that Laura's number 1 is my number 1. I don't want to upstage that,
okay,
I won't say. But yeah, I mean,
All right.
by far that was I think what Laura's going to pick as her number 1 is mine, and that by far was. I mean, to me that was. I like that movie more than any movie by a long shot. I mean, I'm saying number 2 was far behind that for me.
Damn.
For my number 2.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
I think Beau is Afraid was my number 2, probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
I loved Beau is Afraid.
Huh.
Blow is
I
Afraid.
loved Blows Afraid.
I loved Blow is Afraid.
All right.
All right, Brent.
Well, thank you for chiming in.
I just want you. Yeah, sorry, Adam. It was probably pointless for me to call in.
No.
I actually almost thought, when you first called me, I thought in my mind, never mind,
No, we're glad to have you, Brent, and we'd love to get you as a guest on this show in a little bit here at some point.
Maybe you can say real quick tomorrow night's episode of The Chicken Coop. People who are tuning in right now, come on out to that show tomorrow. another podcast.
Yeah,
Maybe
check it
then you can tell us all your top 10 real quick on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, a little follow.
I won't even tell you my top. Here's the thing about it. It's like, I didn't really, I mean, I only have like maybe a top 5, in fact, you know.
Well, me
I
too.
don't really care for a lot of stuff. But,
Look at you didn't. I don't know if you heard my prefacing. I don't know if you heard my prefacing tonight about my top 10 list, but it's kind of just like whatever.
I heard it all, and I totally get it. Yeah, but I just think. By the way, did you end up watching Asteroid City last night, Laura?
Not last night, but I tried watching it today, but I didn't have enough time to finish it, so I didn't. I'm just gonna tell people right now, I didn't include that in my list because I didn't finish it, and I don't know if I would have included it in my. I probably would have included it in my list, but I don't feel like I had a fair.
I saw it last night or the night before, and I actually thought that was one. I thought that would be it further up on my list. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Wait, did you watch Asteroid City?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
It's not on my list, but I thought it was good.
It's not on your list. Look at that.
But I thought it was good.
Basically, the only movies I didn't see this year was I didn't see Zone of Interest, which I really did want to see that.
You gotta see it.
And I want to see that. And then I didn't see Barbie and Oppenheimer, and other than that, I saw everything.
Have you seen Passages? I think you'd like it.
No, I know, and I didn't see that.
You should see that. I think you would like that, Brent. Like knowing your tastes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think you would. I just think you would. All right.
Okay. All right,
Anyway,
people.
sorry to bother you guys.
No, you're not bothering us. No.
Sorry to bother you. The other
I
movie.
don't know. I just thought when Laura was talking about the Jones movie, I thought, I kind of want to talk about this, and then I thought, maybe I can call in, but then I later just thought, come on, who am I kidding here? What's the point here?
No, Brent, we're happy to have you.
And the twins wanted to get in on this too. The twins, my younger brothers, but they're not here, so what are you gonna do?
I'm sure they'll all be guests soon enough.
They'll all be guests soon enough here. Thank you,
Brent.
Dominic, for your good sportage.
Thanks for.
All right. Maybe I'll call in later tonight or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe after our 10 has been fully wrapped.
Yeah.
Fully wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'll call in for the wrap. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. See you,
Okay.
Brent. All right.
And that was Brent Weinbach chiming in.
Yeah.
He liked Indiana Jones more than at a number 10 on his list. So, well, there we go.
All right, Laura. Let's
Okay.
get back to your list
Okay,
with
my
your
God.
number 5.
Okay, number 5. Let's see. At this point, we're getting into a territory of movies I kind of liked.
Okay.
Okay, I would say for me, number 5 would have to most definitely probably have to be Infinity Pool.
Okay.
Yeah, Infinity Pool. I'll put that at number 5 because I think that was, I mean, it was, you know what? I mean, look, I'm not going to say anything, I don't like saying anything bad about anything really. I really don't,
But yet you start every.
And it's probably not a good look, to be doing this, but.
Well, what did you like about it? How about start there?
No, I'm not even this. I wasn't going to say anything bad. I'm just going to say that I thought it was a fun movie kind of, and and I like, Alexander Skarsgård.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him. I really liked Succession, something that came out this year, right? The final season.
Yeah, he was in that.
So
he
you
had
know
like
what?
a few
That should
episodes
be
on
in
that.
my top 10 as a token. I know it's not a movie, but hey, may as well have been.
I mean, I think I would agree on like as far as like TV goes.
That was one of the best watching things that came out this year.
sure.
Come on, people.
Yeah.
I mean, that was something that we can all agree was very good, right? I think
Of
we can all
course.
agree.
It was incredible. It was the final season of Succession. I mean, yeah.
Final season
you
of
kind of
Succession,
obviously,
people.
like,
Who liked it? Who liked it? I
mean,
liked it.
So wait, let's.
Infinity Pool.
Infinity Pool
okay,
is
directed by
Brandon Cronenberg.
Brandon Cronenberg, son of
David
Cronenberg,
who of course is a famous director from, he still is going, but I think he's most known for like his 80s horror films such as like The Thing, The Fly. I mean, there's so many. Videodrome, I love.
Videodrome. I didn't actually see that, but I probably
really?
should. Alexander Skarsgård is good in this movie. Also, it's just it's just a fun kind of romp. Not a romp. I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than,
So Infinity Pool too. Let's just say too that it's sort of like a horror sci-fi film. I would call it.
It's like kind of a thriller.
Yeah, like it's like a little bit horror, a little bit thriller, a little bit sci-fi.
It's not quite horror.
It's not like it's not.
It's like kind of
horrifying,
psychological, like thriller.
but it's creepy. I mean,
It's
there's
creepy.
parts of it for sure.
No, there's creepy parts for sure, and I
Yeah.
like that.
I'm sorry. Nikki is correcting me. The Thing was made by John Carpenter.
Oh, right, of course.
That is fully true. I guess David Cronenberg is most known for like these sort of insane practical effects, like really cool creature stuff with The Fly and Videodrome. Like there's these moments I think that we all, if you've seen those movies, like you remember these kind of body horror crazy moments. And I think Brandon Cronenberg, his son, he kind of like still is using a lot of really cool practical effects, which you do see here too. But I think he has his own distinct style. Like it's a little more subtle, I would say. It's a little more like, I don't know, grounded.
Well, it's not as it's not quite as fantastical. I mean,
Right.
I guess, I don't know. The Fly is great though. You know, that's a great classic. Although his version of that movie was a remake of the original.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at other stuff Cronenberg did, David. But you know what? I don't know. I actually didn't see a lot of his movies.
Well, The Fly and I think Videodrome are like the two that I think most people know.
Yeah. I don't know.
But anyways, so talk about Infinity Pool.
Infinity Pool. I mean, God, I don't even really remember it that well. I watched it now at this point a couple months ago. But I felt like there was room for, interpretation about the main character and like the motivations behind. I thought it was an interesting psychological case study on the sort of motivations behind sort of the human, I guess, condition in specific types of sets of conditions and what happens when they are given those types of conditions. And I don't know, I think that's kind of a fun thing to explore. And
in a spoiler-free way, let's like briefly describe the film. I would say it's like about a couple who are on vacation.
They go on vacation
in kind of I think it's like an unnamed.
Well, I think it's a fictional place.
Or a fictional
island of some kind, like some kind of European, like Greek island type of place.
So they go to this place and they kind of get caught up in like a horrific incident that occurs.
What happens is, no spoilers, but they're basically approached by a couple who convinces them to come on a little day trip with them, and then after that, sort of trouble ensues,
right?
And they find that they're unable to. I mean, this is not a spoiler. They're not able to escape the island,
right?
So easily.
But they're given a choice that I think brings them to have to grapple with. Again, I'm trying to be vague here. Yeah,
but there's sort of like moral compass and sort of what, it kind of begs the question: what's like kind of seems okay to people? What becomes okay to people when given the opportunity to decide?
I'm gonna pull a fast one here, Laura,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna go ahead and reveal my top 4 or
Oh,
my
shit.
number 4, which
Whoa.
is Infinity Pool.
Oh my
Just
God!
so we
look
can
at
kind of keep this conversation.
Oh yeah.
together
Okay. Yeah.
So my number 4 is also Infinity Pool.
Oh,
Laura's
not
number
also. Mine's number 5.
Or what I mean is yes.
And I'll tell you why number 5 is Infinity Pool. Because number 4 is
Something better, presumably.
okay. I'll tell you why Infinity Pool is number 5.
Okay.
Because number 4 is something else, and number 3 is Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, which came out in 1991, but was a good movie that I watched a
Wait, you're
couple days ago.
revealing your number 3 right now?
Sure.
Oh boy.
Well,
So,
don't
wait.
worry about it.
Well, look,
We'll talk about it later, though.
Okay.
That's just a little preview. Don't even remember that. I just forget I said anything, people.
So visually, to get back to Infinity Pool, I just felt like this movie was really cool. Like especially in the kind of more like psychedelic moments of it. I felt like the way they portrayed those
just like the surreal moments.
Yeah, those like surreal moments were so cool and like really had a unique like flavor to it all. Like it felt like that's where he was kind of putting that practical energy of his father in a way. Like that was kind of reminding me of a David Cronenberg-esque thing.
Wait, Existence was by David Cronenberg. Seen it and loved it. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Who said that?
Nicole Van Est. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and I felt like the performances were great. Mia Goth is she plays Alexander Skarsgård's wife, or are they just a couple?
No. She plays the one who sort of lures. Oh, guys, we don't want to give spoilers, but not the wife.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, I'm totally yeah.
Or not the girlfriend or whatever, fiance.
Right. Well, she plays a major role in things that complicates things for Alexander Skarsgård, and I felt like her performance really carried the film. Like she was my favorite in this movie.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I thought it was a movie that you can kind of get lost in and sort of just sit back and enjoy.
And the sci-fi element like reveals itself I
hate the term sci-fi because it just kind of paints a different image than what this movie is. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's in the world of sci-fi. You know, it's not like.
I guess it's more like
space, but there are
Twilight Zone-esque.
Right.
There's this.
There's fantastical elements that are not available in our world today.
Right. But I felt like because I didn't know what those were, and so of course I'm not going to say them either.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what those were going into it, and I thought it resulted in some really like memorable sequences. You know.
Yeah.
That like still it's like the thing I remember about the movie is what some of those like later sequences kind of entail because of like this really I think unique and creative setup. Like I think it just was it's just like a great idea executed really well.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a romp.
Yeah.
I really hate to say this, but I gotta use the bathroom. Number
yeah.
one, people. Number one, not number two.
Go ahead.
Can I be fast?
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go be
right
fast, and I'll read some comments here. So Laura will be right back. Let's check in with the comments. Let's see. Max and Nikki, what's up? The Fly has awesome, grotesque practical effects. Yeah, totally. Like I think The Fly for me is the David Cronenberg film that I remember the most. Like I saw that when I was a kid, and I've seen it many times since. But like I remember as a kid, that one really blew me away because I think when you see a film that has incredible practical effects like that, especially when you're a kid too, you have the sense that it is real, like that what you're seeing really happened or something. And I remember that movie just being like so wild. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, how did they he's like part fly, like this is crazy. Also Jeff Goldblum gives a great performance in that too. I think we actually did that for this show too back in the old day. So if you want to hear more of our thoughts on The Fly, one of our older episodes out there, you can do that. And speaking of older episodes too, this is our 121st episode. So for anyone who's new to this show, you got a whole big old backlog of stuff that you could scroll through too on all the major podcast services if you want to like check out some of our previous reviews. What else have people said up in here? Another shout out from Bryce for Succession. I totally agree. Like Succession, as far as TV goes, Succession and also The Curse, I felt like were two of the best shows that came out this year. And the thing is, of course, with Succession, you kind of have needed to have seen 4 other seasons for I think this season to like hit in the way that it did. But The Curse, which I want to shout out too, is a TV series that is just one season. It like just came out. I think it started just a couple months ago, but it just finished up. It's a comedy, like a very strange comedy series, also starring Emma Stone and oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? You know. Wait,
what? Oh, Benny Safdie.
Benny Safdie, of course, but you know the classic Nathan Fielder. I don't know why I was forgetting it. Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie co-created this series. Emma Stone stars in it. Just wrapped up, and I feel like now having seen the ending too, I just felt like it fully as a whole season, it just incredible start to finish.
I just started the show, so say nothing more.
Oh yeah, no, I would.
I started like episode 1.
I dare not give a single thing away. But yeah, I highly recommend that show to everyone.
By the way, just an update on the candle. I had to blow it out. No offense.
No offense taken.
I think I'm eating it. Have you ever eaten that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when a candle is going and then you suddenly feel like you're eating it.
Oh yeah.
That was happening.
No, it was going for approximately 2 hours.
I was like, why does my mouth taste like some kind of there's something in it? And then I remembered. Oh yeah.
All right, Laura. Let's keep on cruising. We're almost done with our list here. We're going to number 4 for Laura.
Okay, number 4 for Laura. Well, okay, I guess, yeah, it was interesting because I wasn't sure which one I was going to put here and which I was going to put at number 5, but I ended up going with the other one. So, Anatomy of a Fall at number 4. You know, again, I mean, this is, it's fine. You know, it's a fine movie. It's not my favorite movie. But I did think there were some interesting moments and great moments, you know, in terms of, well, like the latter half of the movie. I think that like it spent a really long time not getting to the point that eventually it makes, you know? And so I think that for that, I take points off. Or it just feels a bit, in the words of Anton Patzner, clinical. And I can see why he says that. And I do have to say, like, I can't argue that. You know what I mean? Like the whole...
Oh, but I think that's totally the point, though.
Well, yeah, but it's like, do we really need to... I mean, it's not... Well, yeah. I mean, hey, I don't know. It's just, as a watch, like, do we have to watch and experience that clinical, like, quality so excessively, or can we kind of get that point and then make it more interesting?
Well, before I kind of
you know what I mean, like sooner.
Let's mention that this is Justine Triet. She's a French filmmaker.
Oh yes.
I actually haven't seen any of her other films. So, Chad,
Yeah.
if you've seen other things and you want to maybe shout out which ones I should see, let me know. But
starring Sandra Huller.
Yes.
And Swan Artward, who I thought was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then Milo Mikado.
That's the boy? Was he the boy?
Milo Mikado Granet. I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but
yes, he was the little boy.
He was the little boy. He was very good.
So to set it up, why don't you just briefly say what Anatomy of a Fall is about? Like
Anatomy of a Fall it's a drama, I would say, movie about basically there's a death in a family, and it's a murder mystery. What am I saying? It's basically the movie is spent largely trying to figure out whether or not the mother is guilty of killing her husband or not.
Right. Which you'd see parts of the incident, but of course minus some key moments. Yeah,
there's not enough information like given to us for us to know for sure. Oh, I mean, like at first, like, I mean, basically, like the whole movie is based around it's like a court case trying to figure out whether or not somebody's guilty.
It's a classic murder mystery setup, but I do think that the film, to call it a murder mystery, I think
is misleading.
Sets it up like it's going to be a thriller, and I would not call this a thriller as much as I would call it like a drama. It's a character study, and it's like a character study on a person going through this. It's very much focused on the character that Sandra Huller plays. Her name actually is Sandra too in the film. The character she plays is Sandra. So it's focused on Sandra, the wife, and just like she's in, I think, almost every single scene, and it's very focused on like her current feelings.
She's not in every scene, by the way.
Yeah, but I just mean like it's very focused on her and kind of what she is going through when she is put in this place of like needing to defend herself onto whether or not she did it. And you, of course, as the audience, don't know, but it isn't really, I think, the point of the film to be like, oh, did she or did she not do it? Like, it's more about like, what would it be like to be in this position?
Well, I think also that, I mean, I feel like the takeaway from the movie for me was very much expressed in the last like 10 to 15 minutes of the movie. And again, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I think that was an interesting insight too. What I think my takeaway from the movie was a real insight into kind of our condition the condition of like Western society and how we approach situations like this in general, kind of like how the judicial system of like democracy in general, how it works, and the things that we think that are important and the things that we incriminate a person based upon are maybe something that we should look at and examine and reconsider, you know. That's my takeaway from it, at least. And so I think that and I think it highlights it sort of it underscores things that are problematic in our systems that we engage in currently, like as a society, and like in terms of the law and how it works, and how those practices embed themselves in our kind of our values and the way that we judge people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I think, and that's something that's very much a problem that we're encountering currently. Like, I think in general, like the issues that continue to surface with just like in terms of our social dynamics right now, just current times, you know, I just feel like it was very relevant to that, you know, and I thought that was good. So there you go.
I'm also going to just chime in really quick just
Yeah.
to keep this conversation moving that my number 3 is Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay.
Yes, I think Anatomy of a Fall is totally incredible. I think it's definitely a must-see movie of the year. I thought that Sandra Hüller gives maybe one of the best performances of the year too in this. Like, I felt like where she kind of brings the character into this gray zone the entire time for me, where I constantly was, I mean, of course you're wondering like if it, like, did she kill him or did she not, like, you know, of course we're wondering that the whole time, but I think what she brings to it is more than just that. And it's like empathy to what she has to like go through by sitting in these courtrooms and recounting these like really intense moments, not just of course from the kind of events that transpired surrounding her husband's death, but also moments before that too, that I found to be deeply affecting and like really like extremely well acted too. When you're kind of getting these insights into their relationship as well, like you kind of know what I'm talking about. Again, I don't want to like get into spoilers or anything, but like you get a lot of moments where you see these other sides of her. Like you're kind of seeing the her that is in this courtroom, of course, that's like needing to, you know,
Defend herself.
Yeah, defend herself, and I also think like as a woman too in the courtroom, primarily like surrounded by men, and like she's talking about like this her husband who's died, and like I think there's like, oh, is she capable of doing this or not? And I think like when you start to get more insight into who the husband is and their relationship dynamic and maybe potential reasons why she could have done it, or reasons why, you know, maybe she's like justified, or like not justified of course, but like reasons that would justify for you like why she might have gone to such extremes. I just felt like as things were getting uncovered, I just couldn't stop watching. Like it was totally gripping to me the whole time. And yeah, and to me, I think the performance really like put it over the edge. The kid's really good too.
The kid is really good. Yeah, and I just think I think that there were things about it that were really relatable. You know, yeah, like in terms of the dynamics of the relationships happening. So that was, yeah, I don't know, pretty good.
All right, should we keep it moving?
Yeah.
Laura, your
My number 3. Okay, so here I'm going to insert a little something called Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, a great movie that came out in 1991 that I watched 2 nights ago and realized I love this movie. Now, I'm not saying it's not without problems.
Wait,
I'm not saying that it's without problems.
Can't be broken?
Yes,
Okay,
directed by
and this is from what?
Steve Miner.
This is
from 1991. It's a Disney movie about one girl's dream to be a horse diver in the 1930s who dares to follow her dream. And I just like the movie. You know, this is an example of a movie that it utilizes the types of filmmaking, visuals and lighting and just like traditional techniques of filmmaking that I really like, you know what I mean? And that are fun. I'm not saying, like I said, it's not without some issue. Okay, I think that the music in the movie is, you know, it does leave something to be desired, especially on the second half of the movie. I don't know why it went down that path, but overall, the lead actress, Gabrielle Anwar, amazing, so engaging to watch, beautiful, and just such a brilliant actress. And just I just love that era of movies, you know. I don't know, it just really took me back, and I feel that it's a style of movie making that really you don't see very much nowadays, like at all. And I feel that it's an example of something that I would have, you know, certainly not present in any of the movies that I saw this year. And although I will say that my number 1 I really did like a lot. I just wanted to throw this in as a little sort of wild card, Joker card, as they say.
Wait, sorry.
But a fun movie.
And it's 1991.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just attempting to put.
Watched it 2 nights ago though, so why not? Oh, I guess we're in 2024. Whatever, people. You know, this is not a professional show. We're just hanging out.
No, I love it. I'm quite shocked, and maybe this is still on the list, but I'm quite shocked it wasn't Little Women. So,
well.
For it to be Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, sure, you know, good enough.
Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken is of the same era that Little Women could be. Like, I feel that they could easily be on a list of movies to watch from the 90s that are, you know, featuring young women.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy Little Women quite a bit, and it is in my...
Of course.
For those who don't know, I like that movie a lot. And some of you might think it's lame, but I like it, and I love it, actually. And we'll probably watch it tonight as a reminder.
instead of any of the films in my top 10 that
I don't know.
you haven't seen.
We'll see.
I think you would love All of Us Strangers, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So if you haven't seen Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, maybe see it, maybe don't. You know, you might not like it, but I liked it.
Bryce Shell says in the chat, have you seen Jurassic Park? So good.
I have. It is good. Is it one of my favorites from the time? I don't know. I mean, it's funny because I wasn't like in love with that movie when it came out, though I've watched it actually many times in the recent past because my child is into it. My husband really liked that movie growing up. And I do like the music a lot, you know. Great music. But it just wasn't always one of my favorites. But, you know, watching it again, it's pretty darn good. What are you going to say? I mean, it's a good movie, you know?
That's beautiful.
Come on. It's a good classic flick.
I mean, I haven't seen it myself, so
You
I
haven't?
can't really speak to it.
You have never seen Jurassic Park?
No, I've seen Jurassic Park. Sorry,
Oh.
I thought we were back to
No,
Wild
we're
Hearts,
talking
but
about Jurassic Park.
Oh, boy. Well, yes, I've seen Jurassic Park.
What do you think of that?
Oh, it's a great movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, come on. What are you going to do?
Is it one of my top 10 films of 2023? Can't say so.
How about of the 90s?
Is it in my top 10 of the 90s?
Yeah.
Well, the 90s are kind of an incredible time for films,
They
so
are.
I don't know if it would crack my top 10.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it's not great. I mean, it's a great film.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to really think about that one, you know what I mean?
Right.
Laney, what's up? Laney Gorman in the chat says Laura
Oh,
Dern! Exclamation point. And that's true. You know, she really kills it with her look.
She's in that, yeah.
In that, it's an iconic look, and then her performance, incredible.
It's fine.
I think
fine.
Laney, did
incredible.
We watch that?
I don't know, but
Oh, come on.
well, I mean, it's not like a role that would merit
Iconic.
the word incredible. It's
I feel
just
like,
it's a fine.
Wasn't that
it's
kind of
good
her
enough.
breakthrough? Wasn't that her breakthrough?
What? It's a person.
No. Oh my God, no!
In
It totally
Jurassic
wasn't.
Park.
No, I'm thinking of Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
that okay, yes, we can talk about an incredible performance, but like Jurassic Park, it's just okay. She does the job. You know what are you gonna do? It's
All
not
right.
like it would merit like something to. It wouldn't merit the adjective incredible. You know, it's not like that. It's just she's just doing the job.
Bryce is recommending a show that I think, or an episode.
Top
that we
10.
could
Hey. No.
an episode that we could
That can
do.
work.
He says that sounds like a good episode. Top 10 of the 90s.
I like
now
your
that would
thinking,
be
Bryce.
that would be speaking to Laura's love language. Is
Perhaps.
If you say.
Perhaps.
All right, number two for me is Poor Things.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. of
Poor
course.
Things, baby.
Yeah.
Poor
of
Things,
course.
Yorgos Lanthimos. We talked about it earlier. I mean, I kind of was chiming in, but I mean, to say why I have it so high on my list, for me, I felt like this movie, again, was sort of like Yorgos Lanthimos finding a way to bring his signature style even closer to, like, I guess, to like a wider appeal while not losing what I think makes it so special and so unique for me. Obviously, I've loved his films for a long time, and the more I watch them too, like I think the more that I love them. And Poor Things for me was just like this. For me, the sexual aspect of it was quite important. I felt like to kind of show. Well, okay. What I loved about the movie was the concept being this, adult woman body with mind of a child or mind of a baby, really. You're kind of like watching her accelerated growth, from essentially like infant brain to learning much more about the world over the course of the film's runtime. Mm-hmm. And, outside of Emma Stone's incredible performance with that, I felt like what that was actually like saying and the kind of stages that you're seeing her go through were, I felt like really well done. Like you're kind of seeing her, I think like, it's going into these base, experiences that we all have, and I think sexual needs, of course, is this base instinct that we all have, and that being like a huge component of the film, and kind of her sexual awakening even through the film, like the kind of stages it goes through where it's fumbling around in the beginning with objects even to start, but then as the film progresses, it's like she explores what it means to be in what it means to be in a relationship with a man, and then also like not understanding even why like what jealousy even is, like what that component is in a sexual sense, and like having to learn the kind of like human decencies of society as she's kind of going, like other people around her are telling her like, oh no, that's not how this works because this and this, but because she is like, because of her unique circumstances, she is
free from the confines of social
right, exactly,
influence.
And so you're getting these like, I think, really interesting ways that the film is interrogating that and like making it about like why are these things even, like why are they the societal norm? And I think it's kind of getting into that with like why is like like monogamy, or also like I think when she is exploring sex work even too, like why is that considered maybe like a looked down upon form of
frowned upon,
like form of
employment,
and also sexual engagement. Yes, exactly. I don't know, I thought that it was I felt like this, where it all goes and where it all builds to, for me, I felt like it was like a symphony. I felt like it was just hitting so many points, and on top of that, I personally thought that it was hilarious. Like I cracked up the first time I watched this, and the second time as well. We saw it together actually not too long ago in theaters. That was my second time seeing it, and it's like one of those films that to me it is not only I mean, it's pretty rare that I watch a film more than once actually. Usually I'm kind of like one and done, even for some of my favorite films. But Poor Things, to me, it was just like I just wanted to, like, visually, it's also, there's just so much going on and like so much to I don't know, to see in the world that he's created with all these kind of like chapters that it goes through, that I just wanted to see it all again, but also like see Emma Stone's performance again and like the subtleties that she brings to it from scene to scene. Anyways, I could talk a long time about this movie, but I think Poor Things is definitely one of the best of the year and a total must see for sure. What are people saying in here?
They mostly agree with you, I think.
Nicole's saying...
Nicole agrees.
Nicole says, Emma Stone's acting was incredible. I didn't see her as Emma Stone when watching the movie. Yeah, I agree. I feel like she really, like... she also, as the film goes on, I think does a really good job of making her transformation believable, because I think there's a huge arc for her character, and she makes that pretty huge arc quite believable, in my opinion, the whole way. Whereas I think with a lesser actor, I think you might not have bought some of the turns that her character takes. But I thought she did a great job at selling that. Any further comments on Poor Things?
I feel that I pretty much said what I thought about it. I just, it just, I don't know. It just wasn't, I forgot.
All right, Laura's number 2 film of 2023. What's it gonna be?
Yeah. Oh, my number 2. Yeah. Number 2 for moi was Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Contrary to my expectations. Wow. Okay. This was a great example of a movie that I went into with extremely low expectations, low standards. Just totally in the mood to sit back and watch a junk food movie. Or what I thought was going to be a junk food movie. Was very pleasantly surprised by a brilliant performance by a young Abby Ryder Fortson. Amazing little actress. I mean, and I say little because she's young, whatever. But she's not little in terms of her performance and her ability. And I thought that the directing was very good, directed by Kelly Freeman Craig. I don't know. Have you been aware of this movie?
I've just heard the name, so I actually don't know much about this
Okay,
movie.
It's based on a book that I was a big fan of growing up. So those of you who read the book, I think you would like this movie. You know, it was very true to the writing, and I mean, look at there. It wasn't like a perfect movie, you know. And again, I went into it with very low expectations, so probably my response was a lot grander than maybe it would have been had I had as high a bar of expectations as I had for Poor Things.
So what's it about, really quick?
Oh, it's just about a young girl. It's a coming of age movie. A 13-year or like a 12/13-year-old girl just growing up and like living life day to day in where does she move to? She was living in New York, and then she moves to I want to say Connecticut or somewhere that's not the city, and just kind of the trials and tribulations of being a junior high school kid.
Okay.
You know, of being an adolescent.
Coming of age.
Yeah, coming of age and kind of what it's like to, you know, all the different sort of issues that you encounter in that age, like religion, you know, having to, if you're in a bi-religious household, what that means for you as a junior high school kid. What does it mean when you like a boy for the first time? What does it mean when you haven't gotten your period yet and you want to get things like that? It's just classic coming of age stuff, and it's very fun. And I don't know, I just thought it was a fun, good, well acted movie. And strangely enough, Benny Safdie is in it, which
he's in it?
Yeah, like that was a totally random thing that he plays the father of Margaret in this movie, and
there he is. Yeah,
that was just not expected at all. I mean, it's funny because after I watched that movie, it was on my list that night to start watching The Curse for the first episode. And
did you recognize him in the first episode, by the way?
Well, for a second, I was like, "Is that Benny Safdie?" Because I had just seen him in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Yeah.
Had no idea that he was in either of those, and the fact that he's in both of those was such a weird thing because. What the hell is he doing in a movie like Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, when the movies I had known him from were like Good Time and Uncut Gems.
Both of which he directed with his brother, Josh Safdie.
Yeah, and which are like sort of high stakes, like fast paced, intense, gritty, you know, kind of fly by the seat of your pants.
I think The Curse, though, is a little bit more his usual style. Like,
what do you mean by usual? I mean, usually he does. I feel like we haven't really seen that much of his work other than the two great, you know, I mean, well, I had my opinions about Uncut Gems, which I know, look at, it's a good movie. It just wasn't my favorite. I loved Good Time. I don't know what else he did, but I do think...
He did Heaven Knows What, which I really loved.
I haven't seen that.
And a lot of people love Daddy Longlegs, which I have not
seen. Oh, I
seen.
didn't see that either.
But Heaven Knows What is great, too.
But I think that they're
this
great.
Is, by the way, a co-directing. Like,
yeah.
He's...
Yeah, with his
he
brother.
always co-directs with his brother, and they go by the Safdie brothers.
Right.
But I mean, there's been a bunch of you know about the news lately
that they're parting ways.
Yeah, so like Benny is now likely directing his next movie solo, but Josh Safdie is already, I think, well on his way into directing the next movie solo. Which I think the rumor is that it's going to star Adam Sandler, but then there's also like another rumor that maybe that film is falling through, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But definitely they are going solo for the time being, which is a bit of a bummer because I think that they're a great duo. But anyways, we're getting kind of far from the point of
well, anyways, yeah, I enjoyed Are You There, guys? Remember when I watched this movie, I walked away from it being like, you know what, this was a movie I can honestly just say I liked. And the other ones I couldn't honestly just say that. I had to really think about it. You know, I had to really come up with reasons why, you know, I either liked or didn't like them. It was just kind of, this was a very straightforward, okay, this is a fun watch. And it's actually like not bad, you know?
Oh, now I'm interested. Yeah, I mean, I
mean,
had heard
it's just
the
like
name,
a pretty good movie. And it's more akin to like a 90s coming of age movie in a way. I mean, there's some things about it that are, you know, again, there's like a little bit of, you know, I guess cringe, but that's okay. If you put that aside, it's pretty good. And Kathy Bates is in it, you know, she's pretty good. And also Rachel McAdams of The Notebook fame and other such tales as that. I mean, she's in a lot of other stuff, Mean Girls. I don't know. Anyway, but she's good. And yeah, Elle Graham also plays one of the lead roles as a friend, one of the friends of the main person who plays Margaret. Or I should say one of the friends of Margaret's, played by Elle Graham, also a very good actress. And just I thought that there were some really great moments, really fun moments in that movie. So check it out, people.
Love it. All right, should we get into our number one?
Yes. Wow, we're running in.
I'll be starting with my number one, and then we'll get to Laura's. So my number one film
Oh
of
yeah, wow. Okay. I thought it was gonna be
2023.
Porky's. Oh my God.
Beau is Afraid,
Wow.
baby.
Oh my God.
Beau is Afraid by written and directed by Ari Aster.
Oh shit.
Look, I think Ari Aster is one of our greatest modern directors. Obviously, y'all know that I loved Hereditary, and I loved
did I.
Midsommar.
As did I.
I just think it's like, he's a hit after hit. Beau is Afraid obviously is a different turn for him. I mean, we talked a bit about this earlier too, but I do want to say some deeper thoughts on this. Like, I think that this is him taking a pretty like a kind of a swing for the fences, if you will. Like he's kind of he's just like trying out some crazy shit, but has been given the budget, which is kind of incredible in and of itself, that he got like the budget to make this pretty insane film, and A24 distributing it and everything, and I believe also producing it too. Anyways, like, I think
I didn't love it, by the way, Nicole, but it's okay. No offense.
What?
Go ahead. Sorry, Nicole said, "Glad you both loved Beau is Afraid," because it seems pretty.
It is on your
divisive.
top 10, but
It's yes, but again, that's not saying much. But I thought it was fine.
I want to get into that though. So Nicole, her comment says, "Glad you both love Beau is Afraid because it seems pretty divisive online." It is. So this is obviously a very divisive movie, and I think that is to be expected when you attempt to do something that pushes the boundaries. Like, I think this is a boundary pushing film, and for me personally, it really fucking worked. Despite multiple things in the film that I actually thought were like that really did not work for me. But for me, like, if you take enough risks and like if you're pushing things as much as this film is, I think you're bound to miss for like something's going to miss for someone. Like, whoever sees this movie, I highly doubt anyone watches this movie and is like loved it. Like, when I talk to people about this movie, there's always like one or two things that they're like, oh yeah, that part didn't really work for me. But for me, I think it's worth looking past that, because the like everything else that worked for me didn't just kind of work for me. It was like, oh shit. There was like, I can think of just 10 plus things off the top of my head where these moments in this film where I was just like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened, or I can't believe they did it like this, or I can't believe like he went there, or that it took this turn, whatever, or like visually even, I think it's just on another level. And so despite the problems I have with it, which like there were kind of, I always think about like two huge problems I had with it, like two sequences that absolutely did not work for me. Despite that though, I just felt like this is totally worth celebrating and worth championing, because I want to see filmmakers be taking these kinds of risks and not be afraid to fuck it up a little bit. Like, I don't mind fucking it up a little bit if you...
I love a taking of a risk as well, and I totally applaud that, And I like the spirit of that.
Right. But you didn't think it was successful here?
No, it's not that I didn't think it was successful. It's just I just didn't like it, is all. Like, I didn't like being in that world, so I just... For me, it wasn't something that But I said, like, I could look at it and say, this is a good movie.
Right.
It just wasn't for me.
Right. Oh, I mean, and I think another part of the divisiveness for sure is that too, like what you're talking about, like the tone of it is quite intense. And like, this is a film that, despite it being my number one, is not a film that I would just like easily recommend to everyone. It's just my personal favorite film.
Yeah.
But like, I would say, for example, like Poor Things, my number two, is a film that I would recommend to more people. I don't think it's for everyone either, but like, that's the kind of film that I think more people would be into. I totally get why people hate. I get why people hate this movie, actually. Like, not even just kind of don't like it, but I understand why it fully does not work for certain people. And I also kind of tell people too, like, if you start this movie and you watch like the first 20 to 30 minutes and that isn't working for you, then I think at that point you're already going to know if the film's humor and sensibilities are going to be for you or not. And for me, like I was in hysterics for that opening kind of fifth of the film, which I'm sure if you've seen the film, you know what I'm referring to.
I forgot.
Just like in the city, like when in his apartment and everything that kind of transpires around his apartment.
Like when he walks outside and stuff.
Well, yeah, that, but also, but like everything that's going on, like with him kind of before he like really leaves his apartment and block.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, look, I don't want to give anything away. But
I know. Don't say it right now.
But the film kind of like has
it's like
chapters.
I forgot. That's the thing.
It kind of has chapters, I would say, and like very distinct chapters of like he's here and then now he's here, and just that also I don't even think we mentioned what the film is about when we were talking about it earlier, but it's about Joaquin Phoenix plays this character Bo, and it's a quite simple setup. He's going to go see his mother to leave things vague. But along the way, everything is going wrong. I think that's the best way to like not really get into specifics. But
I think Nicole got it right though. The
What?
movie is a fun and extreme portrayal of anxiety, or maybe even like bipolarism, or just maybe even schizophrenia.
Yeah. Oh, that's totally another thing I want to shout out too. Is like I feel like it did an incredible job of putting you in the shoes of someone who thinks that everything is out to get him.
Yeah.
Like it totally creates that feeling for you as the audience, how it would be to be him. Like you're very much with Bo the whole and his perspective on the world. So like the world in his head, everything is just out to get him. So then like things literally are like out to kill him or whatever. Like these small things kind of blow up in his head, but you get to see that from his eyes, and I think it did an incredible job at that. But yeah, again, it's like it's not going to work for everyone, but for me, damn, I mean, I just was like, this was another just hit, a home run, if you will, for Ari Aster, and I'm really excited for whatever he does next. All right, Laura, should we get to your
my number one?
Number one.
Yeah, wow, this didn't even make your top 10, but I thought Past Lives was great. Actually great. Actually like a legitimately good, serious movie that I could take seriously. You know what I mean? Like I really did think it was very, very good.
Okay.
And I thought that the writing was good. There was so much subtlety and like nuance that was so effective in just pulling you into a real dynamic going on here between two people and actually three people. And I loved the way that, the different perspectives that we get to have on each character, how it shifts when they're into these different contexts, and
can I
the nuance of that
with a little bit of information about the film?
Okay, sorry. So directed by Celine Song, who this
Written
was her
and directed.
And this was her her debut.
This is her debut feature.
So applaud that. I mean, my God, she should be. I feel like this is probably one of the lesser, although I guess I've seen it on some lists, but like it seems like it's not getting anywhere near as much praise as some of these other movies.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? It's
is it?
It's like number one on many lists. I think
Number one?
IndieWire put it as their number one film of the year.
Really?
Which is like a huge
Oh, I
publication.
thought like Greta Gerwig was way more like the number one.
No, not amongst like critics.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay, great.
Past Lives is getting a lot of love.
Well, it should, because it's good.
I don't think as many people saw it, of course, as Barbie, but I think that's just to be expected because of the kind of movie it is.
Yeah, but also, I don't know. It seemed like Saltburn was maybe getting a little more love than this movie.
Not love, but buzz.
Buzz, yeah.
I mean, that's not to be mistaken. Because, I mean, yes, Saltburn is getting a lot of people talking. It doesn't, I would say it's not like a beloved film that like critics are going crazy for.
Okay.
In fact, I don't think Saltburn is doing very well critically. I think it's more just like commercially.
Okay, well, good. Then it should be number one, because you know what? It's good. It's well done. It's just it's not trying to do too much. It just simply like is existing. I felt like it actually really for me hit a lot of the same marks as like Call Me by Your Name. You know, it was just sort of like a sort of a slice of life, and just a kind of character dynamic. Well, it was definitely about like relationships, and but very much centered around a specific single figure. I think that the real focal point of the movie was like the woman in the movie, the main female figure. But yet it's like her.
You should mention too, just briefly, what it's about.
Okay, sorry. It's about It's about
without any spoilers.
It's about a woman who it starts off as she's a child. She's 12 years old and in Seoul, Korea, and she is sort of she's sort of a what's it called, a high achiever, in her class, and she is in sort of like she has a friend who's a boy that they seem to have a bond, and then one day all of a sudden, and it's also articulated in the movie that her parents are kind of like these more artsy sort of creative types, and so they decided they need to move away from Korea and move to the United States. So they moved to Canada. Her mom, I think, is like a writer, and then her dad is a filmmaker. And so when she moves away from Korea, it's a very sudden move.
Well, doesn't she go to New York City?
First, they go to Canada, and then eventually they make their way to New York City.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she leaves like her friends behind, and it's very sudden when she parts ways with her, this friend who's a boy, that they have a bond. And so 12 years go by after she had left, and then they kind of reconnect. And that's, one big portion of the movie is that reconnection at that point in their lives. And she kind of at that moment is in New York City and pursuing a writing career, and is doing like a writer's retreat or whatever it is, like in New York. And he is an engineer, I guess, pursuing being an engineer, or maybe he was like in the military at a certain point. But it kind of shows how they had changed at that point, and also how their dynamic hadn't changed really, and that they still kind of have a connection. And then eventually the movie moves to another 12 years later after that. And it shows what the dynamic is at that point. And just that's basically the gist of the movie.
Passage of time, and
it's just
and
about
how
two
this
people's
relationship changes through time.
Excuse me, sorry.
But also there's
it's about a relation. It's about relationships, and also growth, like individual growth, and it's just kind of slice of life, but also a study on again the human condition, and in a specific scenario,
We got some people chiming in about past lives too.
Okay.
Nicole says past lives made me cry, which was unexpected.
Yeah.
Just felt very real. Josh says I did love the softness of it. Your brothers Max and Nikki said I'd actually say that Past Lives is one of the top 3 best movies of the decade.
I don't know if I go that far, but I mean, hey, of the year, 100%.
And that was Nikki, to specify, who said that. And then reminded us that it is on it's number 1 on many lists, as did Nicole. She said that many TikTok creators have also been putting it as their number 1.
And I also thought that I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but Tao Yu, the main male counterpart in the movie, excellent acting performance. In fact, I almost felt that it sort of overshadowed Greta Lee's performance, who was pretty good.
The performances were excellent, yeah.
So you saw the movie?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was
You were like,
good.
whatever.
I thought it was very good.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought that you were like lukewarm.
It almost
about it.
cracked my top 10.
I can't believe it did not hit your top 10. Like, that's crazy to me.
For me
personally, it was just so,
I'm not trying to rain anybody's parade, but for me, it just was like, it was a little too wispy and like barely there, and like I wanted a little bit more
drama,
from not necessarily more drama, but I just wanted a little more
more action,
more. I think I just wanted like a more some like definitive things to have for me to have been like said from it.
Oh my God. I thought that what it didn't say was so poignant though. Like,
yeah. And look, there's certain moments that I thought were incredible. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but like, I thought
the last like 20 minutes of the movie,
I thought that was incredible. So I think like the ending is incredible. I think like the setup is incredible. Obviously, like I think there were aspects of the story that I was deeply connected to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was just times in the movie where I felt like I was fading a little in and out of like being super invested personally. But not to say
you're not alone in that sentiment. I know a lot of people felt like that. But
no, I think I'm actually more on the.
Well, I
think most people love it.
No, but like so yeah, you know what really made me, I think partial to this movie. Part of it was, and I really hate to say this, having just seen Poor Things as being such a kind of like opposite end of the spectrum type of movie to compare to this. It was like so over the top, so kind of in your face with so many sensory experiences and elements. And it was like, in a way, it really wasn't subtle. It felt more like we're watching a play, which, as we know, like with plays, the acting is a little more exaggerated It felt like that was what was going on in the Yorgos Lanthimos movie. So to watch this movie kind of side by side with that, it was so the opposite. It was so subtle. It was so nuanced and so kind of like quiet and reserved in that way that it just, I felt so much more inclined to give this points because of the such like micro expressive elements happening in the acting. Like with Tao, is it Tao? You, I hate to not know how to pronounce his name, but there's a moment in the movie when I think the lead character played by Greta Lee is telling him that she doesn't want to I don't even want to say what happens. She says something to him and his response is so subtle, and it's just, you just see him and I don't even know if you're supposed to notice it, but there was just this moment where he like swallows and you see his throat go. And that to me, it spoke volumes. I was like, oh my God, that was so good. I was like, damn, he really did a good job right then. You know what I mean? And just without saying anything, without doing too much movement, it was just so much more effective for me, and I just felt like he was so dynamic. There was just so much dynamicism involved between the characters and in the character arcs, and so I thought that it was a legitimately good movie.
I mean, yeah, and I think many people agree.
But don't get me wrong, and I like artsy. I like movies that are vibrant and over the top and maximal. It's just I need there to be a lot of I really need to feel a core sort of substantive connection that there's just certain movies that stick with me that I think about for days and on end afterwards. And I don't know, for whatever reason, Poor Things didn't do that for me. But a movie that
not because it's maximalist.
No, not because of that. No, but I would say that the maximalism was I think that it was overshadowed by the fact that I wasn't able to walk away feeling anything. And so it just made the maximalist aspect of it seem gratuitous and a little excessive. You know what I mean? And it felt like it almost felt like it cheapened those artistic endeavors. You know what I mean? That I normally would be all about. I could take a movie, for example, like The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover, which maybe I could compare very vaguely to the movie Poor Things. They could exist in the same genre realm. Which
they're
that
a bit grotesque.
I love that movie.
As
to me, I walked away from that feeling a lot of things, and a lot of it just stuck with me. You know what I mean? And I just felt like there was a certain kind of core substance to it that was really engaging and interesting. And I don't know. Why did Poor Things not have that effect on me? I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, I don't think it. I mean,
you know what I mean.
Also, vice versa too. I like maximalist films, as you can see, with my top two being Beau is Afraid and Poor Things, which I would consider both quite maximalist. But I also really love subtle films too. It's not like I can't get into a vibe of Poor Thing or Past Lives. For me, Anatomy of a Fall, which was my number 3, is kind of that expert subtle kind of performance where it's all in just her face when she's being she's giving her
oh my God, yeah, wow.
So for me that was I think
the
my
pinnacle.
Past Lives or the pinnacle of a subtle.
Sorry, in Poor Things or
no,
what movie?
Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Anatomy of a
Fall. You were
to
talking
me,
about Poor Things.
To me is I think kind of how you felt about Past Lives. That to me was my favorite film that was dealing in subtleties and dealing with what's not being shown.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to shout out too that I love both ends of the spectrum as well. It's not like Past Lives was I didn't like it because it was subtle. It was more
right. It's not like being one of those things is going to guarantee you're going to like a movie or not like a movie. It's it's got to just have something,
Okay. Well, look, we've gone pretty long.
Oh, yeah. Hey, so thanks to those generally around 20 people who stuck with us the whole time. Wow.
Yeah. Well, thanks to everyone
impressed.
who was able to tune in today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And obviously, we've been gone for a long time, but we are getting back to a regular schedule here. So we're gonna be doing our show every other Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, just as a reminder, we'll be live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So if you want to...
Oh, wait. Brent wants to chime in one more time. He's calling. Should we answer?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right.
One quick word from
Speak
Brent.
your piece, Weinbach.
Yes. I just wanted to give you... I just put together a real quick top 10 that I thought I'd just kind of put out there.
All right.
Quick.
Top 10 from Brent Reinbach.
top 10 list here. My number 1 is for sure.
Wait.
And then,
Wait, what?
Oh, I was going
What?
to maybe start with 10, you know?
Yeah, start with 10.
Like to kind of build it up.
I know, I'm saying just as a preface that my number 1 is for sure. And my number 2 is probably pretty confident too, but 3 through 10 are sort of, I don't know, who knows, you know what I mean?
All right, just jump in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of interchangeable maybe. And also, I didn't watch everything this year, so I don't know. This list is kind of arbitrary. But anyway, number 10, Blackberry. Number 9, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Oh, wow. That's okay. It made your top 10. Look at that.
Wait. Number 8.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. 8, May, December. 7, Super Mario Brothers movie. 6, Indiana Jones and the Dial of whatever. 5,
Get it closer.
Asteroid City. 4, The Holdovers. 3, Anatomy of a Fall. And 2, Beau's Afraid. And then number 1, Past Lives.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That's a
wait.
very respectable
The
list.
Holdovers. I guess I should watch that movie. Okay.
I mean, you don't need to, but I mean,
Okay.
you know.
All right, Brent.
All
Thanks
right.
for giving us a.
Thank you for giving us an insight.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
I said thank you for the insight.
Well, it's not an insight. Well, it is an insight into my mind, I suppose.
That's what I meant.
I just was gonna say that, yeah, you know, I don't like things that are I don't like kind of obvious. Whatever, forget it. All right, that's it. Fine.
All
I don't
right.
like messages in movies too. I don't like messages. I don't like when messages are really just
Pounded
preachy.
in.
I don't like preachy messages, or I don't like messages that are just not nuanced. You know, I like kind of more ambiguity and more thought-provoking messages, if that makes sense, or not something that's just obvious cliche messages, which I thought some movies, and I won't name names, were kind of like that. You know, it's this year.
Well, you know
All
what?
right.
I'll leave with this comment. I don't even care if there's a message, if there's not a message, whatever. If it's good, it's good. If I liked it, I liked it. You know?
Yeah,
it's whatever.
At the end of the day, yes. At the end of the day, good is good. Whatever. You know.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I think the bottom line is whatever.
Whatever.
I think were you guys talking about BlackBerry being a documentary?
No,
Dominic
I was
thought that, and I said no.
I was asking that because I wasn't sure.
He wasn't sure.
But it is kind of shot in a sort of verite style, you know. So maybe you might have, I don't know. It has that verite style. It's made by Matt Johnson, who made The Dirties, and he's part of Nirvana, the band, the show, and he's really actually a very talented filmmaker, you know, Matt Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we can all walk away from this year's movie with this phrase: whatever.
Whatever.
I think that sums it all up.
Thanks for calling in, Brent. I know we'll get you back on this show.
Let me speak my mind. Yeah, thank you for the platform. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well played.
Thanks for chiming in. Okay. All right. And we're going to sign off with you.
With
Bye.
you. Yeah, I mean with you specifically.
Yeah. Bye, Brent.
Okay, but we should wrap up things here. So, again, we'll be live in 2 weeks. Let's see. So that puts us at February 4th is our next episode. We'll announce what movie we're going to review. That'll be like a classic episode where we're going to review a film. We'll announce it probably a week before. So if you want to like watch it or whatever, you can. But we also, it's of note, we always don't spoil the film for the first half of the review. So you can always tune in, and we make it very clear when we're going to like actually get into story stuff.
However, the spoiler parts are always the best times. Like, we always have the best laughs at that point. So
I mean, feel free to
hang out.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you so wish to do. And again, the episodes are always posted to all the podcast apps such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, etc., wherever you get your podcasts. I always put those up on the Wednesday after we record live. So if you're an audio listener, you're already listening on Wednesday. But if you want to re-listen, this will be up on Wednesday. Plugs? Do we have any plugs, Laura?
None other than the butt plug. No, just kidding. Yeah, we actually do have a show coming up. Foxtails Brigade, the full band, will be performing a rare performance on February 11th at the Makeout Room.
Oh my God,
It's
yeah, I forgot about that.
By the way,
in
Dominic,
fact,
that's confirmed.
yeah, this is actually me finding out about that show. So
Yeah, sorry. So that'll be happening on Sunday, February 11th. Come to that, and if you're in San Francisco, at the Makeout Room.
Hell yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Okay, look, fun to be back. I will say, this I missed this. I missed doing the old Totally
missed
Tell
it.
Me. So I'm glad we're back at it. I'm glad we took our what did we say, 3 weeks off? We were gonna do 3 weeks or whatever.
Right.
But look, I'm really happy to be back talking movies. I obviously love to talk movies with you, Laura.
Me too. And I'm glad that I'm watching movies again. Because, like, to be honest, for the last couple of years, I really wasn't as on top of my movie watching as I had been when we were doing Totally Tell Me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
now
thank you for that.
we'll at least be watching a movie every 2 weeks.
At least.
So, count us in for what, 25 films then this year?
25 to keep me alive.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode of Totally Tell Me. Again, thanks so much everyone for tuning in for our first episode back, and we will catch you later. Anything to say?
No, bye. Thank you. Thank you all so
Bye.
much. Bye-bye.